So as far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Ow! Hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Doo to poot cakes.
Good evening, everyone, and it's the last one for a while until Tuesday. For me, we're going to be live tomorrow morning. We're going to be live on Friday. I hope you guys support Gino and support Keanu. We got our third string quarterbacks going tomorrow and Friday. I did talk to Johnny today. He is going home. His words were, if I could be, you know what? Let's just confirm during the show here. He did say getting discharged today. Or no, I'm sorry. Seems I'll get discharged today. Just giving you the update. And then I asked him, is your leg all better? He says no, but it's going in the right direction. And then hopefully by the end of the show today, we'll find out if he has been discharged already. That was the only update I got today. I'm guessing he's got to be tired of being in the hospital. I mean, that's certainly understandable. It's one of those shittiest places to be stuck, you know? One of the shittiest places to be stuck. Oh, actual Steel Toe fans, my buddy. He says, what did I miss this morning? We just went over. You know, you guys actually did a really dirty trick to Johnny today. I'm sorry. If you're part of the evening crowd exclusively and you're not part of both, they did, like, Sam's show did this really shitty thing. So we were short by like $25, $30. And I'm like, when we go over, Johnny's going to get the rest. And then Sam's show goes, say that Johnny's not getting the rest and see what happens. And I did that. And like $50 just comes in right away. And I'm like, guys, you're really just the nastiest human beings ever. I try to have fun. I try to have a good time. I try to make it good-natured, good spirit. And by the way, Sam's show is loving himself because of it. Like, Sam's show was very, very pleased with himself. He was going, oh, man, that's great. Oh, that's so funny. And God damn. Well, it is our last show of the week. I have a ton of stuff. Now, I don't know what to do. Like, I had a plan of, like, if we go over tonight or if we knock it out tonight, I was going to say I'll do a half hour for every $50 we go over, but then that could get out of hand and I do need to go to bed at some point. What do you say? Normal rules, and if we start going over and it starts getting weird, I'll hang out with you. I'll stick around for a while. Let's see what happens. Well, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Send me off on vacation on a big note, and let's call it a win for the toe. What do you say? Sam Show in the chat writes, you rang. You know what you did. I mean, thank you because you saved today's goal and you kept us perfect for the week. But you did, you know what you did. Vadam is here with $2, says, Aaron, do not get arrested on vacation. Behave. My arresting days are done. My arresting days are long, long behind me. You don't have to worry. I'm just going to have me a great time. Taste Fairy says, let's get weird. I think we should. 170's the number, and I think we should get weird this evening. Let's have some fun. We've got to go over this this Tim Dillon CNN interview. Oh my God. We need to figure out what this broad is medicated with. Like, it's prescription, don't get me wrong. Some people were saying heroin. The chick who interviewed Tim Dillon for CNN, she is, I don't know if it's antidepressants, I don't know if it's anti-anxiety, whatever it is. She is fucking zonked. Either that or she's just an extremely unbearable person. It could be either one. Johnny does have an update for us. He says he's back home resting. I'm going to send a yay with the exploding party hat emoji to let him know that I'm very excited that he's back home. So Johnny's back home. He's resting. We've got Gino and Keanu hosting on Thursday and Friday morning, so join them. Both Keanu and I have had a talk with Gino about not getting us in any trouble while we're gone. We're not going to get in any trouble while I'm out of here. All right? Actual Steel Toe fan, he's coping a bit. He says, so you jack your goal up and offer your sick friend the leftover. When did we jack our goal up? Our goal is always down. We haven't had a max goal day forever and ever because actual Steel Toe fan, the audience is so supportive. I don't know what to tell you. Miss Tay with $10 says, Aaron, while on vacay, do not share your nudes with us. I mean, in fairness, you got to admit, Miss Tay, sharing my own nudes has never been my problem. Sharing my own nudes has never been an issue that I have had. We all make mistakes. We all have bad eras. It's just that some of us have a hard time admitting them. We just blame it on everybody else in a narcissistic rage. 160 away from tonight. Thank you for starting us off, Miss Tay. Well, let's just keep that piling up, and I'll head out to the not the gay key, a very happy man. All right, we're all caught up. Yeah, Treetop Armadillo says, Gino, he has a terrible record for keeping YouTube channels. Believe me, I know. Look, I'm itching my elbow just thinking about it. I'm nervous as all hell just thinking about Gino having control over my channel. Hoo boy. But Keanu has assured me that he's going to behave. Plus, he's LA Gino right now. And actually, technically speaking, Keanu's in charge and Keanu's hosting the program. So there is that. I hope she gets into all kinds of gossip. Guys, send them super chats. Send them, well, don't, I guess not PayPals and Venmos. That goes to me. Send them super chats. Send them Rumble rants. If you want some goss out of them, there's stuff they can talk about that I can't talk about. So if you want some hot dish and some gossip from those two, just don't trigger Gino to say anything that's going to get us in trouble. The man's going to be on his best behavior, and he doesn't need you guys fucking around. All right? You know this. Miss Tay with another $10 says, don't share your nudes until you lose that 30 pounds, fatty. Now, wait a minute. Where did this 30 pounds come from? It's 6. I have 6 pounds to lose. Thank you very much. 6'3", 215 is just fine. Fly High says, wouldn't the YouTube super chats and Rumble rants go to you? I'm paying them up front. I'm paying them. I do find this really interesting about big steel toe fans that pretend to be haters. They do what's called, you can either call it moral fagging. They do that a lot. Or the other thing they do, and this one's really adorable, is concern trolling. They don't say anything because they have no self-awareness. They don't realize that it makes them look super gay. Just let him keep doing it. Long Balls with $10 says, this is for my favorite gay porn star, Aaron. I'm not a gay porn star. I'm not. No, of course not. Quit starting shit. 145 away from today. I appreciate your guys' generosity, though. It's just that, gay porn star? Jesus. Speaking of gay, let's get to this Tim Dillon thing. Tim Dillon did an interview with CNN. He was talking about this for a long time. CNN wanted to talk to him because they think that Tim Dillon is like the new CNN. They think that Dillon, Rogan, Theo Vaughn, and these other guys who do fucking comedy podcasts, they think they're like the new media, because they have a right to a center to center right bend. So CNN is nervous as all shit. And everyone thinks that this is something new. It's not. I remember when I was in high school, is Jon Stewart the new media? And it's like, no, you guys just do such a shitty job at your job that people start listening to these guys and they go, well, I mean, this is better than CNN. I mean, the only reason these guys exist and the only reason big name newsmakers go on Rogan or go on Dillon is because the people have voted. They trust these people more because they're not prolific liars like CNN, MSNBC, and yes, Fox News and these other places. So it's very strange to me to watch CNN fuck up and then a Tim Dillon rise from those ashes and then CNN asking Tim Dillon why he's such a big deal, and they really have no idea. We're also going to find out what the fuck this reporter's on. Maybe some of you have the same prescription. I don't know, but she is zonked on something. Funeral director with $2 says, why stream with Gino? He sucks. Do poll for it, Toe. I'm not streaming with Gino. I am going to be gone. All right? I am going to be gone. They are going to be doing the show. MSO says, was there a Johnny update? Yes, Johnny is back home, and he is resting. His leg is not all the way better yet, but it is going in the right direction. They're happy enough with where his leg infection is at that they feel like they can send him home, which is a good thing. All right, let's get to this Tim Dillon deal. And now, you guys, I need your help. What is this one on? Because this can't be her like normal demeanor. It's too put on. Let's take a look.
I ask because do you feel like you're part of a new establishment that's being created?
Like, she just has that 1,000-yard is it antidepressants? Because she's like, are you part of a new establishment? Do you think? No, they're anti-establishment. Like, he uses all kinds of terrible language that you're not supposed to be using if you're the mainstream. These people are so butthurt about not being in charge anymore and that they don't have a monopoly on information that anybody else who puts any information out and draws an audience, they have to immediately give them the third degree. And it's funny because CNN wants to influence how people think. They want to influence how people vote. Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan do not. They just want to do shows. So it's very funny to me to watch people like this woman from CNN kind of project CNN's insecurities onto Tim Dillon, who does not possess any of them. Funeral director with $2 says that'd be like Howard letting Shuley run the show. Well, it's worth a try.
I don't think I'm part of a new establishment. I think it would be pretty difficult to look at these podcasts. I know it's a popular thing right now, especially in certain media circles, to say that after running an incredibly unpopular candidate who was introduced very late in the race because an elderly man who could not be the president, who everyone told was functioning as the president for 4 years, decided.
I like how Tim Dillon is slyly shitting on her and CNN because her question was passive-aggressive at Tim Dillon. And also, Tim pointed out that he sat down for 70 minutes with this woman, and he was worried that CNN was going to chop it to shit. They didn't. CNN did release the 70-minute full interview. That's right, guys. You can watch this interview lady ask questions of Tim Dillon for 70 minutes.
to this wind is wild, huh?
Yeah.
See? But this was a very specific circumstance in which Kamala Harris ran for the presidency.
Yeah.
She was somewhat unpopular, and she was not a star in Democratic politics before this at all. And her communication strategy was pretty weak. I think most people have admitted that. So to hang this defeat all on a few podcasts and to say that they were the problem, I just don't buy the name.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, first of all, it's kind of like in sports, you know, whenever we lost a game, whether it was baseball, basketball, or football, whenever we lost a game and someone tried to blame it on the refs, most of us would say we should have never let it get close enough where the refs could influence the game. It's the same thing with these podcasts. CNN being like, are you guys an establishment because you guys had Trump on and he got elected? No, you guys are so dog shit. And the candidate the other side ran was so dog shit. She could have gone on all those podcasts. She could have gone on Theo Vaughn. She could have gone on Rogan, all of them. But she was scared. She didn't want to talk unedited for 3 hours. And she didn't want to go to Austin to do it. She did such a shitty job that people went, well, at least this guy is coming to the shows I listen to, and he values my vote enough to come talk to me. Okay, I'll vote for him. Like, to try and blame Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon and Theo Vaughn for Trump getting elected is the same as blaming the refs. You should have never let it get that close.
Narrative. So I don't think I'm a new establishment. If you weigh, again, a few comedians with podcasts versus all of the people that supported Kamala Harris, you know, Democrat donors, billionaires, big people.
Well, look at the people who own CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC. Look at the giant multinational corporations and the untold billions of dollars that can be poured into those organizations. And then tell me that Tim Dillon, who started his podcast from scratch, is somehow like he's the new establishment. Oh, here's a new conspiracy theory. Chris Hall with 199 says removing comments is a win. I don't remove comments, dude. I'm sorry. Start leaving some. Come on. You got good lines, Chris. I'm sure you think I'm an evil guy. I'm your big bad boogeyman. Start leaving the comments, you lazy cunt. Are you removing comment? Like, I give a shit enough about what Chris Hall thinks to delete his comment. Leave them, son. Come on, Sonny Jim. Leave a couple. We're bored over here. Thank you for the $2. Was that smug enough for you? I do like to piss you off.
If the idea is that me and a few comedians have more power than multi-billionaires, huge media institutions, a whole political party apparatus, I just don't think most people are going to buy that. I think
not only are most people not going to buy it, it makes you look shitty. Like, it makes you look worthless and incompetent. And you're just going to ask that openly? We here at a multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporation, our message got drowned out by a fat guy talking into a mic on Patreon and YouTube. Do you think, like, you're in charge of shit now? No, you're just remarkably unlikable.
I think it seems like a great way to excuse running an unpopular candidate on a platform that American people weren't sold on.
And again, like, why can't CNN just admit that they were in the tank for Kamala Harris? Because the reason they're asking Tim this question is because Trump won. Ergo, what you're saying is we were pushing Kamala Harris. She was our person. Trump wasn't our person. Trump won. So obviously you're saying your message wasn't heard. So your message was a pro-Kamala message. But if we say that, this is the gaslighting. If we say that to you, you go, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Meanwhile, we're like, well, you think these guys are the new establishment because the guy they had on their show won. And you're saying that nobody's listening to you guys, meaning you had a different message.
I think even beyond politics, though, even beyond the question of the election, like, again, I know that the, like, liberal Joe Rogan conversation is so dominant and I think not like nuanced enough. But there is power in a massive audience.
What is she on? Like somebody in the comments said heroin. I don't think it's illegal. I think it's a prescription deal. She's just she's subdued, but she's trying to have energy. Like something's putting a governor on her energy levels. And by the way, yes, there's power in a huge audience, but that doesn't mean that you're somehow the establishment. It's amazing to me how these people can only view things in culturally manipulated terms. You know that a lot of people watch Joe Rogan because they're tired of political shit. A lot of people watch Tim Dillon because they're tired of the same old political shit. A lot of them use these guys as an escape, not as an establishment, to try and get away from that stuff.
Absolutely power in a massive audience. But if you're saying that power is equal to the CIA or all of these other people that have been very critical of President Trump, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that like the power that Theo Von has would be equal to like the intelligence agencies, right? Or
yo, man, I don't mean to say nothing, but I killed 4 CIA agents yesterday because they wouldn't vote for Trump. I murdered 4 FBI people yesterday, and I said, "Hooly dooly, what you doey?" And I stabbed them with an ice pick because they wasn't part of the establishment, bro.
These massive legacy media institutions seems crazy.
But you got way more audience than when you're saying we don't have power, we're not the CIA. Well, there's some gradations between that, and also I'm sure there's like.
Well, just you use the word establishment.
Yeah, you said establishment, like they're the guys in charge. No, they're the insurrection. You guys are the establishment. Just because the insurrection got more popular than the establishment doesn't make them the establishment. It just means a lot of people in a free society hate your fucking guts.
Yeah. I didn't say that we didn't have any power or that audiences weren't powerful. But when you use the term establishment, I think that's more than just having an audience. That's having an institutional component that I don't think we have.
And how about how embarrassing it is for CNN? And I mean, you hired this lady who I think has a couple of prescriptions in her jangling around in her pocket. Maybe not. But you've got this woman whining to a comedian who does a podcast that his audience is too big. Guys, this is not the OWN you think it is.
But I think legacy media does. I think the government and the intelligence communities do. I think Hollywood certainly does. And I think all of those people, all of those power factions have worked together for a very, very, very long time. So to say that a few comedians...
I just imagine Sam Show is just screaming Jew at his computer screen.
...with podcasts equal that seems crazy.
I see why. Okay, I understand.
That's the only.
Hey, do you like that? Hey, Tim, it only took you 3 minutes and 23 seconds, but she finally sprickety, if you will. God, well, that's one clip. The good news is that clip is over, and it's the longest one we have. The bad news is it takes her a little bit longer to totally get it. Miss Tay with $10. Says the tarantula is taking it lying down today. Yeah, I just, you know what I did? I packed my pomade, so I just let the hair lay down tonight. I just decided to, let it chill out this evening. I just decided to let the spider descend from the web. Thank you, Miss Tay. MN Vikings with $4.99 says, hope all is well. It is. Thank you, buddy. Hope you too. Haven't been able to watch much lately. Started a boiler operator class. What's new? Well, the kids are good. I'm going on a trip. The Timberwolves hoping they make it to the finals. Not too much. How about you? How's the boiler operator class? I like that when people are like, what's new? I just want to have a one-on-one. I don't know. Not too much. Crazy weather we're having, right? It's been raining a lot, but, we need the rain. My Lost Interest says, I think she's on heavy doses of pretentious dumb bitch. Oh. Treetop Armadillo says she'd be more wired with some Adderall. Well, I know a guy who can get you some. Sam Show says Adderall. And then he says Jewish hypnotism. Well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? I thought Adderall was Jewish hypnotism. Isn't that amazing that that's how they got children medicated in this country? Is they just invented this disease called ADHD. They're like, oh, he's, he has trouble focusing and he's hyper. Well, we clearly need to get him on stimulants. And you're like, what? Well, yeah, I mean, he's hyper and he can't pay attention. It's like, yeah, I thought that was called being 8. No. I thought that just meant the adults need to take charge of the situation and make them focus. No, we need to get them on pills. And those pills need to alter their behavior and their brain chemistry. It's like, are you sure that's a good idea? Oh, yeah, don't worry. In 20 years, we're going to be chopping their dicks off when they want to wear a dress. So it's going to be nothing. Whoa. I feel like we should fight back. Oh, so you're Nazis, huh? It's like, well, is that what that's kind of weird because it's like, hey, we're going to start medicating your children with a disease that can't really be noticed or recognized by any kind of scan. And then if your kid feels like playing a girl's sport, we're going to talk them into becoming a girl. So like you're literally trying to medicate and harm children needlessly. And then when the adults go, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we lock those people up and make sure they can't harm anybody? They go, oh, that's what the Nazis did. And it's like, really? Is that what they did? Because I thought they were. I mean, my personal opinion is that the Nazis were really evil, awful, bad guys. But are you saying that that's what? Don't make that argument because it doesn't make you look good. 09 Canyon says you need to put them in sports or get them a bike and kick them outside until dinner. Yeah, I mean, now we've even got like Dutch doctors who have been doing research. And they've been saying, yeah, the ADHD thing is totally just up to a doctor to just say you have it. We don't have any scans. We don't have any tests. We don't have any way to actually tell if you have this disease. We just tell the kid to open his mouth. We throw a bunch of pills in there and hope for the best. Normal stuff. No Pen 15 Fathead with $10 says, have a drink on me, boss. Wear a rubber and don't catch monkeypox. I'm not going to the gay key for the last time. It's not where I'm going. MN Vikings with 199 says, where are you going for your trip? I'm going to Florida. And I'm not going to the gay key. Thank you. McBuster says they have the DSM-5 as their Bible for diagnoses. Helgi says, hey, this kid is feral. Let's slow him down. Yeah, I don't like the idea, to be honest with you. 125 away from tonight. Look, holy shit, look at you guys. Balls Deep with $2 says, yeah, my Durango. Thank you. That's, holy shit, I need some pills to slow me down. Jesus Christ. 125 is the number for tonight. We're not even at 6:30 yet. Holy shit, thank you guys. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's go to MSO. He says, hey, if you're going to Florida, you can see Chad or John. John. Chad, I'd have to go quite a bit north, I believe, to go see Chad. But maybe I will. Maybe on my way back or my way there, maybe I'll go see me some Chad Zumach. And we'll go have a beer. We'll go talk to Chad. Go talk to Chad. Take your hammer and fly up there and talk to him. Not the gay key, just the swinger homes, right? Says Hulkamasha baby. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not a swinger. Got in them shoes, tried them, wore them, wasn't a perfect fit, so I couldn't sport them. Root says go see Hobo. Hobo last said that he wants to have a mafia-style sit-down with me. I'm pretty sure he wants to strangle me like Luca Brasi. So, I don't know, man. I think I should maybe steer clear of Hobo. Grand Poobah says you could go see Bubba. Oh, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll DM Bubba. Does, what's his name? Does Seth still work for Bubba? Maybe I'll DM him. Let's see. Seth Rollins? I don't think DMing Seth Rollins is going to work. Tridio at $2 says, use this drop to mersh some slaw. Use this to drop mersh some slaw. Okay. Something tells me he gets rather scarred and triggered by coleslaw at this point. 09 Canyon says, Aaron is going to petition to get into the villages before 55. I don't want to go to the villages. Thank you very much. Red Scoper, all of you guys, You have to stop living as though the internet and insignificant streamers like me or anybody else is like the center of the universe. You have to stop. If you don't have a life outside of the internet, I feel really bad. No, I'm not going to see internet people while me and my gorgeous girlfriend are on vacation. I'm good. Thank you. 125 away from today. Let's keep going with these Tim Dillon clips. This next one, dude, you're going to love this one. This will be your favorite clip. The woman on whatever she's on, talking to Tim Dillon, tells him that she can't think of any left of center comedians. This is how bad these people are. I mean, they think Joe Rogan, Theo Von, Tim Dillon, the world ends with them, and she thinks that they're all right-wing, which they're not. I don't think they're right-wing at all, especially not Theo Von. But she thinks of them as right-wing because they didn't fall in love with Kamala Harris. Well, when she says that there are no left-of-center comedians, Tim Dillon is able to rattle off like half a dozen in a second.
Very, very successful comedians that are left of center comedians.
Like who?
Like who? I want to listen to this chick's responses until we find out what her prescriptions look like. Like who? It's like if Chrissy Maher had stayed a feminist liberal, you know?
Left of center comedians.
Like who?
Like who? That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some kind of drug influence because she can't even like push the words out. They just kind of fall out of her mouth. Like, oh no, I rewound too much on Twitter. God damn you. All right, here we go.
Very successful comedians that are left of center comedians.
Like who?
I mean, what do you mean like who? Chelsea Handler, I think John Mulaney probably. I think that you would find Sarah Silverman. I think Bill Burr, Louis C.K.
But by the way, that's how you know that these people are just dyed in the wool. They are automatons. They're robots. They've been trained. She is such a child, you are not allowed to say Louis C.K.'s name in front of her. Why? Because he jacked his dick off in front of some chicks? It was a long time ago. Get the fuck over it. We're all adults. Yeah, it was a shitty thing to do. He did ask. They did say yes. A lot of them felt like they couldn't say no. Okay, we have to feel shitty about Louis for about 5 years then. That 5 years is long since up. It's been like 10. So I'm sorry, we don't need to, like a bunch of 4-year-olds or like Harry Potter fans saying Voldemort, we don't need to go, when they say Louis C.K. When they say Louis forgiven, all right? He jacked off in front of some girls. Oh my God. Look, I think Bill Burr said it years ago and he was right. There's fucking levels to this Me Too shit. The worst thing Me Too did was it equated a guy whacking off in a hotel room with rape. And it made them the same offense. And it's like, no, what Louis did was creepy. All right? And here's his punishment. Everyone found out he was creepy. He lost a bunch of movies. He lost one of the biggest shows on TV. And he lost untold millions of dollars. All right. Now he has to start over again. We're good. That's even. That's his punishment. Not that 10 years later, this woman goes, and these, by the way, these media types have no problem applauding a Roman Polanski or Woody Allen movie. Oh, Woody Allen's brilliant. Is he really? You want to talk to his daughter about that? You want to talk to her and the stuff she thought while she was playing with the train set? Oh, but Louis C.K., he whacked off in front of some grown women. Shut up.
Louis C.K. He's never voted for a Republican in his life. Why? Because he's an imperfect person? These are massively successful comedians. They're all more successful than I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. And they're all left-leaning comedians.
Chelsea Handler let a guy piss on her face on video while she was swimming. These people are all degenerates. They're all in Hollywood. They've all done weird, gay, fucked up shit. They make me look like the Pope.
Is there this idea that, like, they're not around or you can't find them? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
No, but there's not
They're all doing
this
great.
cultural energy.
Kimmel.
Cultural energy? What ass are you pulling this out of? Cultural energy around Tim Dillon? I mean, don't get me wrong. He's big enough to have his own gravitational pull, but that's not cultural energy. That's mass. That's science. Cultural energy, why? Because they have fans? Everybody with a following has cultural energy.
Fallon.
But all those people who had the kind of like left-wing shows like Amy Schumer and Michelle Wolf, those
You named two people who aren't fucking funny. It had nothing to do with them being left-wing. The fact that Amy Schumer and Michelle Wolf got shows shows you the bias entertainment has towards left-wing comedians because they didn't deserve it. They were barely in the business and they were chicks and they said all the right things that the bosses like. That's why they got a show. So don't sit there and be like, well, what about Michelle Wolf? Her show got canceled because it sucked and she isn't funny. I'm sorry that really depressed, ironic, liberal hipsters with, an antidepressant prescription thought Michelle Wolf was great. I'm sorry, but us normal people thought she was boring.
have
Is she really stuck into Trump?
all been canceled. All those shows are canceled.
Well, but there'll be new ones. I mean, do you not have the faith? Do you think there's going to be no
I just don't
left-wing
see-
comedy?
I don't see like a little ecosystem or like a galaxy.
You don't see an ecosystem or a galaxy. Bitch, it's called Hollywood. It's not, fuck a fake galaxy or an ecosystem. It's a city. It's all left wing. Why do you think that Harvey Weinstein got to get away with the shit he got away with for so long? He voted right, he gave money to the right people, and he pushed the right messages. God damn. This is what happens when you grow up with a system that's built in to work for you, is you don't appreciate it. You think that if anything that's not that thing gets any kind of airplay, that it's this massive invasion. Wow. I'm going to guess that she grew up on one of the coasts. Oof. McBuster says Tim Dillon is openly gay and still acts less gay than that pedophile Melton. Jeez, I didn't see that coming. Okay. Jostrich says Chrissy used her father's death to get out of doing stand-up for Steel Toe and replaced herself with Nick Rekieta. That's not true. He was going to be there no matter what. Chrissy's father was murdered. That's a really shitty thing. I know it's all internet and you're trying to be wacky internet guy and you're trying to make yourself a character. I get it. I understand it. Like I empathize with what you're trying to do. But like at this, I do have to fact check you. I'm not shitting on you, but I do have to fact check you on that one. But I do appreciate people trying to be a gimmick. I like that. Renegger says Harvey only got caught because his brother threw him under the bus because China knew about his problems with women. Yeah, like Bob Weinstein didn't get in any trouble. My Lost Interest says, I can't believe I'm saying this. Do you have any clips of The View? Hold on, big shooter. Hey, My Lost Interest. Patience, my friend. Patience. Over 250 of you watching. Let's get up over 300, just like the first couple of nights this week. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We're only 125 away from tonight's final goal of the week. No, Jostrich, what I'm trying to correct you on, just pay attention, you'll learn. Nick was already scheduled for that show. He didn't replace Chrissy. He was already scheduled. We just went on without her. If you have any trouble understanding that, come back at me with another one. I can do flashcards. Do you? Just busting your balls. All right, I got one more Tim Dillon. This is 342. This is Palestine and Gaza. This one's kind of a bummer, and I'm really getting tired of her voice. And the next thing I have, I'd rather get to this. Donald Trump showed the South African president highlights of evidence of genocide of white farmers going on in South Africa. Oh boy, I bet you this was an uncomfortable room to be in. So the black South African president coming to Trump And he's like, everything in our country is fine. And Trump's like, here's you killing a bunch of honkies. And he had to sit and watch that and kind of get ambushed with it. And the media, who's been covering up what's been going on in South Africa, well, not covering it up, but like not reporting it to us. You know, if you ask them, they go, well, we didn't think the American people would care that it wasn't prevalent to here. And one thing Americans always want to hear about is when white people are in trouble and we can help. But the media is sitting there. They don't want to talk about it. South African president's sitting there. He doesn't want to talk about it. And Trump is just like, turn over to that TV right there, and we've got ourselves blacks killing whites. It's in South Africa. Let's do this, though, first. I did get an update. And this is from a guy I know. This is not from some random internet person who's fucking around. To follow up some of this nanny stuff that's going on. This person writes, who knows how serious it all is, but I got a call from the police department about Rekieta as I was getting on my shuttle flight to California. He is subject to a new investigation over the nanny stuff because he is harassing a woman, it sounds like. That is the angle, the male versus female thing. Revolting Rekieta strikes again. Hopefully your cyber trespass matter continues on and that has some teeth. Anyway, later, stay safe. Well, to quote PPP.
Oh, buddy!
What?
Now, I don't know if he's overstating, but I can say this. I have emailed with this person before. They're not like just some internet trolley guy. I mean, it's a legit person. He says the police department is looking into it. I don't know. He might be overstating. But he was contacted. They are looking into it. I would say that's all I know, by the way. Whether or not anything comes of it, I don't know. I can't say. But I did get that. Deutsch Chad says that will violate his probation. Well, see, you have to be careful talking about the nanny, you know? And the reason you have to be careful about talking about the nanny is, like, you can say whatever you want about me. I'm a public figure. I can't get, like, protection orders or lawsuits or anything like that, nor would I want to, because I'm a public figure. I'm out there every day. You can get away with damn near murder with public figures. She's not. She's never wanted to be. She's never tried to be. 1,000% a private person. So the rules are a little bit different. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. I have my doubts, but that's just my source, who I do trust. All right, let's continue on. Let's get to Donald Trump showing the South African presidents. It's never good when you go to the White House. You're like, I'm going to have a productive meeting with the president. And then the president goes, I'm going to show you pictures of racial discrimination in your country. That's never the way you want the meeting to go. So, do you want to talk about trade deals? Here's a bunch of white farmers bleeding out at the hands of black monsters. Let's go ahead and check it out and watch Cyril Ramaphosa. Sounds like a character in the movie Madagascar. It's the Ramaphosa. And let's watch he and Trump talk genocide, which is always a cheery topic to broach.
He was saying, even in the parliament, and they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There is criminality in our country.
That's never good when you're like, there is criminality in our country. That's not what he said. You do not defend. When Trump goes, if you want people to think that, like, that's not happening, you don't go with like, well, technically on the books there is murder laws. You go like, no, we arrest them right away and we throw them all in prison and they go away forever and they are committing hate crimes. Instead he goes, well, on the books, technically it's not, you can't do that. Well, yeah, nobody's debating that part, dipshit.
People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are
That's not good, dude. You're not saying that the white people aren't being murdered. You're saying we kill a lot more than just white farmers. As like going to Chicago and going, you guys have way too much gang violence. And they're like, no. Yesterday somebody shot this kid. Like, no. That's not how you defend yourself from those charges. Oh, man, you guys, I tell you what. You guys have a serious problem in this hospital with infections from dirty instruments. That's not true. Sometimes we rub dirt directly in patients' wounds, too. Oh, shit.
black people. And
you guys have a real problem with groping women at your shows. That's not true. We also grape them. No, that's worse. We are not just killing white farmers. We're senselessly killing a lot of black people, too.
we have now
The
been
farmers are
utilized.
black. The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the
That's because they're not good at farming. They're bad. They can't be out in the sun.
people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently. And, we're here to talk about
But there are also people who do not have their heads cut off, and they are killed, and they just shove their testicles in their mouths. So you are technically wrong there. Sometimes they cut off their leg just below the knee and let them bleed to death.
And I didn't know we'd get involved here, but I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake like NBC, which is fake news.
He can't help himself. He's like, I want to talk to you about all the black people killing the white farmers. Did I mention NBC are cunts?
One of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake
Anyway, back to genocide.
news like this jerk that we have here, we had real reporters.
I'm not trying to say that it's a genocide or not, but this guy's a real jerk.
Be covering it, but the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want
not
to
wrong.
talk about it, but now they have to talk about it. But they won't. This won't even be a subject. They'll have him talking about.
True. Look what their news is. Their news report is Trump acts a fool in front of South African president by showing him evidence of the thing we won't tell you about.
Why did a country give a free think of this? Why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force.
Yeah, they're talking. They asked him. I think we have that clip. That's from that guy. The Qataris giving Trump the big plane and pledging like $1 trillion in economic development investment in the United States. And an NBC guy was trying to ask Trump about that because of Trump. Like he was trying to get Trump to change the subject. Let's show you the evidence that Trump showed him first. Then we'll show you what the NBC asshole did.
There's nothing this parliament can do with or without you. People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one.
That sounds like they're going to go take land from white farmers and murder them. You know, the thing that the president said is not happening. That sounds like they're going to. Loaded Wrench with $2 says YouTube says it's a white conspiracy theory. Oh, shit. Am I going to get struck for this one? Sorry. Maybe Gino will just be on Rumble tomorrow. That would be funny if I was like, Keanu, we got to make sure that Gino doesn't get us a strike tomorrow. She's like, yes, I will talk to him too. I know you've talked to him. And then I go, hey, guys. Yeah, we got a strike. You're going to be doing Rumble only. Sorry, my bad. Apparently there's not white people being murdered in South Africa.
I don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not?
Try again, motherfucker. It's John Bliss. I could get jiggy with this shit. You know who you are fucking with. Little Willie Mandela's cousin. Try again, motherfucker. I go postal on this motherfucker.
We are going to occupy land. Yes. South African occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable
do whatever you want to do. You can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
You ever? Yeah, that's the guy, by the way, that was telling Trump that this isn't happening. By the way, you know that saying, when people tell you who they are, believe them? Believe them.
Honorable. Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act.
Okay. I'm thinking about maybe some, if I'm a white farmer right now in South Africa, I'm thinking maybe I get some plane tickets.
Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor.
That means whitey.
The farmer. Brr, pa. Pa.
Dude, this new Fugees album is lit. It is fucking crazy. Ooh boy. This is I really don't think that you can walk this back and say that there aren't forces in South Africa stealing land and killing people. It's
pa. Pa. To kill your master. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
You know how, like, Trump gets those rallies together and people are like, oh, my God, it's so scary. It's so fascist. These guys are literally getting people into stadiums and encourage them to commit racial hate crime violence. And the media doesn't report it. That's not Nazis. That's not fascism. I guess South Africa, that's just what? Justice? I guess they all deserve it. Jesus Christ. We're living in a simulation.
Mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man.
Now, as a white man, I feel like I have a horse in this race. I'd rather not see that happen.
They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched. Don't worry.
This actually sounds like he's just going to molest us. This doesn't really sound like he's going to kill us. You need to go and touch a white man. Make his muscles tense. Make him struggle. And then take him.
We are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Whoa. Could we maybe politely tap the shoulder of whiteness? Can we compromise?
Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor.
You know, if you put this to Kanye's HH beat, it would probably be a decent track, like a remix. It's worth a shot. You know how you scare all these people away? You just run in there and you go, the Fusa coming, the Fusa. It worked in Madagascar.
The farmer. Brr, pa. Pa.
Is this the dance that iDubbbz was doing in that H3 Content Cop?
Shoot to kill. Yamaza.
The Pua.
Kill the poor.
The farmer.
The farmer.
I get it.
Kill the poor.
The farmer.
Pa.
Pa. Pa. Pa. Pa.
I don't know.
So it's like, kill the Pua, the farmer, Pua. Do I have it right? By the way, this is what Donald Trump showed the president of South Africa at the White House. 2.5 minutes in, he's like, yeah, I think I got it. Can we maybe cut this? Yep, this is bad. I'm going to have a talk with all these guys.
What's going to happen in the future? I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't you just say kill the Pua, the farmer? I think you did, though.
you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies.
Okay. I know that guy would probably encourage my death, but I do like him for some reason. I do. Just, hey, you talking about murdering white people? Not yet. Yeah, but isn't this you chanting kill the Pua the farmer? What a bunch of pussies. Oh. Oh, Bua. Bua is what they're saying. Boer, Bua. We are going to hit them, and you are going to run. Shoot the boer, the white farmer. We are going to hit them, and you are going to run. We're going to shoot them with the machine gun. Oh, shit, we're playing Clue. In the billiard room with the machine gun. Mr. Black will kill Mr. White. They are going to run. We are going to shoot that. Bro, that was a bad hand motion that you just made there, dude. Can we go back? I know you're trying to, encourage racial hate crimes, but this got a little gay at the end. Watch. That right there, see there? That went from like Nuremberg Nazi scary to like, are we shooting a Bonnie Blue video? Racial genocide has never been funnier to me. It's really fucking gay. Oh, one more time. I jack off double dicks and then I pull them off and kill the white farmer.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they
usually not
object, they can seek refugee in America.
Each cross represents a white farmer who was murdered in South Africa. It's a shitload of white crosses. See, in America, we think that means like a traffic death, like somebody was crossing the street and they got hit by a car. Like, if that was here, we'd be like, who the fuck isn't looking both ways before they cross the street? This street is insane. Oh my God. I'm going to say something controversial here. That's way too much killing. That's holy fucking balls. I don't know if any of you in those cars are white farmers. I wouldn't be sitting there, even if it's supposed to be like some kind of formal protest. I'd fucking gas it. Maybe not, because then you're speeding, and if you get pulled over by a black cop, I mean, holy shit, South Africa's like bizarro America. All right, us white farmers here in South Africa, we need to teach our children how to speak to black policemen because they will cut our balls off and stuff them in our throat. So that's what Trump showed the South African president today. That video of that shit going on. And NBC had a response to that. Before we play that, let's catch up with the chat here a little bit. Thank you to Atomic Ray with $1. He says, race war. Oh, boy. $2 from Rusty Grammar says, this is in honor of Miss Tay, only to make the onions in the chat happy. Oh. Helgi with $5. Thank you very much, buddy. Roots says, I might be wrong, but I don't think he likes white people very much. No, he is not a fan of white people. That I'm going to go ahead and say that it's I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not safe there. Is that fair? Might not. You might want to find somewhere else to live. These South African white people. And it's also really funny, like our Senate yesterday was talking to Marco Rubio, and they were like, what the fuck are you bringing these white South Africans here for? It's like they should have to watch that video in the Senate, and it's like, what George Soros paid off pieces of shit do you have to be that you look at that you could watch that video and not go, yeah, we should probably give them safe passage. Turtle becoming a member for 22 months. Says D. Hantword is terrified right now. Yolandi did full black paint for Fatty Boom Boom. I understood half of that. Thank you, Turtle, for all of your support over the years. 120 away from tonight's goal. It is the last one of the week. Thank you guys so much. If you want to chip in a little bit and have us cross the finish line here, I appreciate it. You guys have been great here in this first hour. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We are pushing 300. Go ahead and help us push it over the top. Let's check out. So then NBC, CBS, they're all in the Oval Office, right? They've all just watched this video with Donald Trump and the South African president. This was NBC's response.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
Mr. President, yeah, real sad shit with all those honkies and everything. Look, the Qataris gave a plane. The fuck? Like, that guy's either the dumbest human being alive. That's like Mr. Can't Read the Room, Captain Autism, or he's just purposely trying to deflect because they don't want to be covering this. And why wouldn't you want to cover this? This is a very juicy human interest piece. I don't know if you know this. There's a fuckload of white people in this country. We might want to hear about something like this.
What are you talking about? You know,
So the NBC guy's like, let me talk about the plane. The South Africa guy's like, I would really like a chance to explain all that killing white people stuff because it sounds bad, but he was joking. It's part of a TV show we do called Joke About Killing Whitey.
you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw.
He's not wrong. I mean, yeah, Trump's a dick and Trump's rude, but he ain't wrong.
You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of it.
That's like if Johnny comes in here and he goes, oh man, I had this infection in my legs and I went to the hospital and you wouldn't believe I've got so many updates about my leg. And then I go, hey, you see the Timberwolves game last night? What? He's got an infection in his leg and he's got a story about it.
Investment in addition to the
or like if I go, hey Johnny, there's this giant genocide going on in South Africa, and he went, yeah, it reminds me of Deadpool, that time where he
go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead.
The South African president is like, maybe if I don't talk for long enough, they won't bring up the whole murdering white people video we just watched. It seems like these people really want to just not talk about it, which is fine with me. That is okay. My Lost Interest says, so the blacks kill the white farmers, then slowly starve to death. That, that it's funny, but that they are finding that that's one of the big problems they're having with taking shit away from white people in South Africa and giving it to black people is that they don't have the expertise because they don't let the white people stick around to train them. And the white people don't want to stick around to train the people that are going to replace them. So these people who are underqualified and have just been handed these jobs, it's causing serious infrastructure problems in things like electricity, wastewater management, and things like that. So you're not that far off. You keep killing these white farmers, and then you're going to go, where is all the food in the supermarket? Oh, that's right. You know, they don't even know to bury the white bodies because those corpses make good fertilizer. So, I mean, right away, these South African black people are missing, you know, one of the number one rules about agriculture, which is you have to plant your crops in fertile soil. Fucking amateurs, man. Fucking amateurs. 120 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much. Nick the Milkman, becoming a member for 36 months, 3-year members on the toe, says, have fun at the gay key. Maybe you can borrow some lube from Diddy. Remember, the body scan checks the butthole for smuggled items. Good thing I'm not smuggling anything in my butthole. Thank you very much. Papa Shab says, admitting that civilization is built on the backs of whites is a huge backfire for the Jays. Well, it's just, you know, I wouldn't go and kill all the people growing my food before I learn how to grow food. You know, if you think about it, you shouldn't be killing the white farmers. What you should be doing is make them grow your food. I mean, technically, that would make these reformist black people kind of enslaving the whites. Come on, guys. Learn how to play the slow game. Fuck. All right, this is Helgi sent this in. This kind of has something to do with what we're talking about. This is from The Onion.
Economy grew by 6% last year. The African continent's economy shrank by 8%. Would it just be kinder not to tell Africa about the global economy?
See, this is when The Onion didn't give a fuck about like political correctness or anything like that. They were just like, what's funny? Fuck it.
I feel like we kind of have to act like everything's okay, Africa.
Make them feel good, keep them busy.
Right. We have to make them feel good because the whole country, the whole continent, it's like hospice.
To keep them in the dark.
Jesus. Do you think after they made this sketch, The Onion went, do you think that one cuts a little too close to the bone? You think? Should we? That felt more like commentary than a sketch.
I mean, at some point, they're going to come asking questions about the global economy. They're going to ask, why is our economy different than the rest of the world's economy?
Once they learn that there is no famine in Kansas, no a civil war currently happening in New Mexico,
but
they'll be so disappointed and probably a little angry.
They feel like we can do business ventures with other continents. They don't realize nobody's going to trade oil for sticks.
You know what?
I mean, they have oil. They just don't know how to get it out of the ground.
But the stick market over there is a complete free fall. You know, how many sticks does one person really need?
That's the debate that's going on there right now.
But the thing is, not telling Africa about the global economy will mean leaving the continent in charge of their own mining and drilling operations.
You can't do it. You can't
Are
do
they
it.
going to hurt themselves with all that?
I mean, maybe.
Equipment.
I think so. I wouldn't have a problem with introducing Fisher-Price mining tools to sort of like get them started, get them a sense of what the shapes and sounds are like.
Something with rounded
that
edges.
they can chew on, you know.
Some people
they can chew on. Holy shit. I think that's why people are so bummed out about The Onion now. Is like it was fucking crazy back in the day.
say that television only increases their knowledge of what they're missing. Should we cut off electricity to Africa so that no one gets television?
As long as we're sending them things that show Western culture in a very basic, rudimentary kind of form, like Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Little House on the Prairie, so that they are really being able to see that we too are struggling.
The main thing is we don't want to rob them of their culture, as you said. We don't want to introduce plumbing and electricity and housing and doorknobs, because that's going to take away what it means to be inherently African.
It would be disrespectful.
It would make it much more difficult to exploit them.
Oh, God. I mean, China's getting in on the act, too, of exploiting Africans. You know, China did this deal with, I think it was Ghana a few years back, that they were going to give Ghana this giant loan so that they could do mining. And that if Ghana didn't pay back the loan with the natural resources, China was just going to basically repossess Ghana's international airport, own it and operate it. And I'm pretty sure they did. I think the Chinese took their airport away from them. That's the shit we've been doing for decades. Hulkamasha Baby with $1 says they all shit on the ground. The soil's plenty fertile. Oh, man. 383 Novocaine with $1 says, Aaron, don't forget, go on vacation, come back on probation. Oh, never mind. Thanks. Taste Fairy Ialto says the only good thing to come out of Ghana is Kofi Kingston. Yes, of course. Love Kofi Kingston. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Guys, let's go ahead and throw in and help knock out this final goal of the week before we take off. I was going to say that, like, if we went 50 over, I'd go till 9 o'clock. But I just reading the room, I feel like we're going to struggle to get to that 120. It is our last goal, though, and it would mean that we had a perfect week. So Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, if you'd like to kick in, I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. If you can't contribute to the show, be sure to throw a like. Be sure to throw a subscribe. Join us in the chat, all that stuff. We really would appreciate any support that you could show our lovely, lovely little steel toe. Turtle Steel Shell gifting a membership. Thank you so much. He gave it to Jostrich. Turtle Steel Shell says, give me my wrenches back. What do you mean? But didn't you fuck with somebody? Like, you fucked with somebody, and then we had to take it away. Like, remember we gave it to you, and then that night you, like, banned Chad Buzamak? Jostrich, go ahead and gift a membership. Let's go on a big gifting membership run before I leave. Atomic Ray with $1. He says, ain't long cock key a gay key? Sounds like it. Leo with $1 says, can we talk about how the tush push survived? Those pussy Packers didn't get their way. Go Birds. That is one of the things that I was on the Eagles' side with. I don't think they should be banning that tush push just because they couldn't stop it. I mean, fuck. And then the Lions had some rule proposal they wanted to get done. It was like they wanted to change the playoff seeding. Like after the first round, it reseeds. So if you were the Vikings, say, and you went past the first round, and you were 14-3, but you played a division champion in the second round, and they were 12-5. You, the wild card team, would get reseeded based on record, and you would host the second round game. I don't know. I think you should get certain advantages for winning your division. Dash with $2 says, thank you for your interesting shows. Well, thank you for supporting them with your money. That's how we're able to do them. Vadam with $2 says, how much to do an all-night stream, Aaron? $300? Let's go. Well, whenever you guys ask, I do put a price tag on stuff. I can't do an all-night stream. I got to get some rest. I got to get up in the morning and go to the old airport. I would say, yeah, the latest I should probably go is 9. You know what? If we get to 25 gifted memberships tonight, I'll go until 9:30. How's that? If we get to 25, so far we're at 2. If we get to 25 gifted memberships, I will then go until 9:30 tonight. Fair enough. Let's go to $5 from RP. Says, give me some good news, Aaron. I want to know there's justice in the world and no rest for the wicked. You know what, man? I'm going to do my best. 105 away from tonight. We had a lot of fun with the South Africa thing. I mean, I know that was kind of morbid and dark, but we had fun with it. Does that count? I don't think so. 105 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you. All right, what do we have next? We have the Joe Rogan had Aaron Rodgers on his show today. And they were talking about James O'Keefe. Apparently the word's gotten out that James O'Keefe is he's a little nervous. He's been looking into the Epstein stuff, and he's been doing a lot of investigating on the Epstein thing. He cut a big video where he was saying he's not suicidal and all this. I think it's going to be I mean, it seems like it's going to be a big investigation. I mean, we've seen a lot of people tease that they're going to do this big Epstein thing and nothing ever comes of it, but James O'Keefe doesn't usually do that. He usually delivers. Hey, give Beardo wipes left to right. Give him a Hulkster. Oh.
Sucker, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
$20 from Beardo wipes left to right says, while y'all were dating, did Nick ever mention a guy named Ron Toy? No, but that's a guy that I read about from time to time. I don't know anything about him. He's a piece of shit that went after Vic. Nick talked a lot of shit about Vic. I know that. He was like mean. Like Nick was almost like a bully when he would talk about Vic, call him gay and shit, and like make fun of his, mannerisms and his voice. He was kind of a fucking cunt now that I think about it. He and Nick had a lot of Twitter DM battle. Of course, Nick is in the DMs fighting with people because he doesn't have real friends outside the internet. Nick would call him a cuck all the time. Turned out that Nick was projecting. Yeah. Yes, Beardo, he was indeed projecting. Nick is, I think, still in full-on meltdown mode. He's doubling up on his lies about the nanny. I think he's getting frustrated because nobody believes him, because fucking why should they? Sean Lenane with $1 says, how much for the truffle shuffle? I did that once. That's enough for this lifetime. Thank you very much. 90 away from finishing it off tonight. If we get to 25 memberships, I'll go until 9:30 this evening. Thank you, guys. $90 from another win for the toe. So here's the James O'Keefe has an update on his Jeffrey Epstein stuff, and he gave it based on a clip from today's episode of the Joe Rogan Experience that Joe put out today, where he had Aaron Rodgers on as a guest. I think that actually might be pretty interesting to watch. Although Aaron Rodgers is kind of full of himself. Oh, well, then I should love him.
James O'Keefe just released video of Epstein's library, right?
I mean, his undercover videos were amazing.
Incredible.
And then he got ousted at Project Veritas, right? And then went.
I wonder what happened there. Like,
I know Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be a fucking hippie from California, but he knows a lot of based shit.
I'd like to know what the story there is, because there's no official story. The guy who releases everything, why wouldn't he release that?
Fortunately, I have recordings and documents to back up everything I'm about to tell you.
Employees were starting to bundle up and talk.
If we're about to paint James as a criminal, it better be fucking good.
They sent a pic of me nailed to a cross. They used these kids. Matt used them to further his agenda.
The reason why James was bad was morphing.
I never lived.
So wait a minute. So he's saying there was like a hostile takeover. James O'Keefe built Project Veritas up to something, and then the people in charge of it shoved a knife in his back like Brutus. They Judas Iscarioted the motherfucker and then kicked him out of his own creation and did like a hostile takeover and did a whole PR smear. Wow, what a bunch of cunts. You know what? I have a theory. James O'Keefe, Goy, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's discovering all these secrets. He's going after the drug companies and the politicians and Epstein and all this. Was somebody getting a little too close? I need to look something up to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Let's see here. Barry, fired chief strategy officer. Never mind. That's a different guy.
This lifestyle was black card.
He's a mean boss.
Director of Planned Giving. Joanne Sumner Obst. Hold on a second. Joanne Sumner. Just bear with me 1 second here. Doesn't say. I have a theory.
Know that James has a private life.
James took a pregnant woman's sandwich. And these are people that we thought were people with integrity.
Who on the board is in control?
Turns out board members are taking money from donors.
How much did you invest in each of Matt Tierman's companies?
I don't think that's any of your business.
We're at the pinnacle of Mount Everest.
Are you refusing to answer the question?
By the way, if you're wondering why people don't file lawsuits, a lot of the time it's because of this. It's because you do depositions and they can go anywhere. As we were talking about this morning, like Taylor Swift's now involved in this Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds shit. I'm sure Blake Lively going through all this, Ryan Reynolds is like, what the fuck are you putting us through now? Gee, just because you didn't get your way on a fucking movie, now we got all this shit going on? You can sue for one thing and you can depose someone and you can ask him shit about stuff that has nothing to do with that.
Yes. The only thing that has changed is that we broke the biggest story in our organization's history.
If a board statement goes out.
The COVID thing, yeah, they broke that story about how the media was orchestrating the COVID messaging.
Oh, it's fucking over.
A week later, everything changed.
And it wasn't right.
It was the timing of it that was so suspicious.
Is it fair to say that 3 of the 4 companies you've invested in, you would consider to be in the medical field?
So what did the board think people were going to assume?
One of the companies could be sold to a big pharma.
Like Pfizer.
Objection.
Did the board not think that people were going to assume the worst?
Pfizer says it has at least $10 billion available for deals in 2025 with a focus on pipeline.
I want to talk about your investments.
I want to talk about you.
I'm a fighter.
You're a cheat.
I'm a warrior.
You're a liar.
And I will get my justice. Not revenge, but justice. Is it all about money?
Too bad you can't afford that.
It's not a good look, bro. When someone says, is it all about money? Like, you suck my dick, you can't afford my house. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point he's making. Wow. So James O'Keefe, good for him, man. He's standing up for himself. I thought that was bullshit from day one. There was something real fucky going on with the whole Project Veritas thing. There was something really weird going on. Like he got kicked out right after all the Pfizer stuff. So if they really do find out that the Project Veritas board that got rid of James O'Keefe was investing in medical companies that could have been bought up by Pfizer, oh shit, they're toast. Because he's doing, like, all of his videos he's doing now, he has the Project Veritas logo behind him. I wonder if he got the name back. At any rate, I'm rooting for James O'Keefe. I just find him more trustworthy than the people he's dealing with, to be honest. Oh God, I just saw one of the most hilarious lies ever from actual Steel Toe fan. He goes, Nick backed him down and made him cry. Nick got right in my face with tears in his eyes one time, and he goes, I know you can kick my ass. I don't care. Stop with any kind of Nick backing me down. That's fucking hilarious. No, Nick would never want to get in a fight with me. Stop. It's silly. I'd fucking kill him. I mean, it's just, it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't even be interesting. It would be me toying with him until I wanted to put him away. Oh, boy, you talk about cope. Coniferous Co. becoming a member for 31 months says have a good vacation. That's actually the funniest bit on tonight's show. Thank you. That actually got a good laugh out of me. I know you can kick my ass. I don't care. You think I'm going to waste the energy breaking you in half, you coked out toothpick? Jesus Christ. All right, then, then other people are going to cry when they have to pick your fucking teeth up off the floor. Stop it. All right, let's get to the Aaron Rodgers, Joe Rogan stuff. Aaron Rodgers commented on trans people in sports, and why not? Like, Aaron Rodgers is not one of those guys you can punish. Aaron Rodgers might still declare his retirement this year. Nobody's signed him yet. I mean, he might just decide that he's done. So he's already, like, a lot of people in the media are like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is the devil because of his COVID shit. So you already got that hanging over his head. What does he care if he says anything controversial? McAfee will always have him on. So this is Rogan and Rodgers talking about trans sports.
If you still want,
and I actually think that a lot of famous people are getting a little mouthier on this issue for the sheer fact that, someone says, have a safe vacation. I hope you wind up in the panhandle and get sexually assaulted by a frisky dolphin. Thank you. For my audience, that's actually very nice. I think a lot of people are feeling braver talking about this because they've watched other people talk about it. Nothing happens to them. And also they kind of see the polling on this, the numbers, that most people think it's ridiculous. So they feel a little, stronger in the numbers.
Want to compete and you're a woman, you should you should be protected and only have to compete against other actual biological women, period. End of discussion. It's not bigoted to say that.
The trans women movement is actually anti-woman.
100%, especially when it comes to sports. 100%.
I feel like though, I will say this. I feel like Joe Rogan and his guests talking about that is becoming the new, comedians are the new cowboys, man. Comedians are the new truth tellers. Like it's becoming the other trope. What was they say? Equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. Like it's kind of becoming the new trope that they trot out there. Like what I'm trying to say is the issue's dead. We all have our positions. Nobody's mind's getting changed. So we're all just kind of repeating the same slogans over and over. And we're just saying it to other people who agree with us and going, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sports. Yeah. You're not seeing trans men dominating anything.
No.
It's because there's a biological difference.
Well,
men's dance, they should do well in that.
It's also a problem because if you're a trans man, now you have to take testosterone, which is banned.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, your testosterone levels are going to be you're going to test positive for just about every banned substance there is.
Take it. So are you going to let them take it and you won't let older athletes take it? That sounds crazy.
This could have all been solved if we just would have let Mark McGuire choke down as many steroids. Dude, the steroids era was so fucking awesome. And they wrecked it. They ruined it. We want to preserve the sanctity of the game. No. No, we don't. We fucking, no. We want to see guys hit 500-foot tape measure home runs. Let them be on gear. Walter with $25 over on Venmo. Give him a Hogan.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
That means we're $65 away from tonight's goal. Finish it off. I don't think we're going to get to that 25 gifted memberships, but we can sure as hell get to that $65 in the next hour. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. You guys are doing an incredible job tonight. Thank you so much. If you can't afford to support the show financially, Lord knows I understand, but go ahead and hit the thumbs up and follow the show either on Rumble or on YouTube or Facebook or Kick. Aaron, all the keys are gay if you're adventurous enough. Have a good time, pimp. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Hey, I was under the impression that Bill Maher's whole podcast thing was going well. I thought that Club Random, they were always spitting out clips and the viewership seemed solid and the views he was getting on YouTube were okay. I guess not, because the whole studio's shutting down. Those of you who don't like Bill Maher will like this. I kind of like Bill. Bill Maher's Heterodox podcast, the whole studio is shutting down. I thought he was doing it at his house. Bill Maher's uncancelable podcast studio has been canceled. In 2024, the late-night comedian launched Club Random Studios, a podcast company built around his show of the same name. But less than 2 years later, the comedian's podcast studio ceased operations. Well, what the fuck? The guy's a multi-millionaire. How can he not keep a podcast operation afloat? The website that once hosted the network's shows no longer works. Comedian Matt Friend's podcast has not shared an episode since late last year. Journalist Ricky Schlott, who announced a show with the network last year, hasn't shared an episode in months. Club Random Studios did not return a request for comment. So wait a minute. So is Bill going to do his, is he still doing his show? Because the interesting thing here is everybody thinks they need a network. Everybody thinks they need like 5 or 6 shows. We even tried it when we first went to Twitch. We were like, let's get a bunch of people and let's have them do shows. And you had Corey and Patrick from I'm Not Right and all these people. And what we ended up learning was people just want the one main show. That's all they want. They don't really want other shows. They want your show. And that's what they kind of learned with this Bill Maher thing. People wanted to watch Bill Maher's show. They didn't care about Bill, Matt, Friend, Ricky Schlotz, Who's-Its. They just wanted to watch Bill. So what you end up doing is just spending a fuckload of money on other stuff that doesn't draw enough money to pay for itself, and then your whole operation shuts down. I mean, that's what happened to Compound. Compound was paying a fuckload of people. Every time I did an episode for Anthony, he paid me $250. And I wasn't drawing 250. I mean, we might have got, what would that be, 25? Yeah, we might have got 30, 40, 50, 60. We might have got 100 people to sign up for Compound. But, like, that's just one time. So you make that by 4, all of a sudden that's $1,000 a month to do a weekly show. You know, I mean, people are there to watch Anthony. You know, he paid Gino a bunch of money. He paid all these guys a bunch of money, and they didn't draw enough people to pay that cost. So even though Anthony drew a lot of people in, the business would operate at a loss. The network was originally intended to elevate voices from Maher's extended universe. The problem is people don't give a shit about Bill Maher's extended universe. I want to help this impressive slate of other voices do the same thing on the Club Random network, he said at the time. Well, people didn't give a shit. Despite controversy surrounding Vice's bankruptcy, Shane Smith's return to in front of the camera was successful. Vice continues to have a strong relationship with Maher. A Club Random podcast hosted by former Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst that was supposed to focus on UFOs never took off. Dude, who wouldn't watch a show about Fred Durst talking about aliens? He didn't even do an episode of it. So it sounds like Bill's going to keep doing the Club Random podcast, but the studio as a whole is shut down. Well, shit. I mean, it makes sense, though. Because, they want Bill Maher. And just because Bill Maher goes, hey, what about Shane Smith from Vice? People are like, fucking who? I don't give a shit. We just want to watch your podcast. Get rid of all these other people. Amy with $5 says, welcome to Florida. No, go home. Oh. You have a lovely way of making a gal feel welcome. Thank you, Amy, for the $5. $65 away from today. We appreciate you guys so much. Short week, final goal. Thank you so much for being as generous as you are. So, Amaranth and her husband are still fighting on stream. Amaranth's husband called the police on her because she pushed him. He actually called the police and said she was assaulting him. I'm getting tired of looking at this Asian guy in a fucking goofy-ass Stetson hat all the time. It's bothering me. I don't know why. I'm sure it's a me thing. But this asshole, we watched him this morning, and he's like, your career's over, you cunt. We're going to finally take care of the animals, you cunt. He's yelling at her through the streaming. And I guess finally he's like, I'm being abused. By the way, if you have a relationship where one person accuses the other of being abusive, and then the other person accuses the other person of being abusive, I'm going to guess that they're both right and they're both super shitty for each other, and they should probably just, you go this way, you go that way. And they're probably both crazy.
Absolutely show the video, obviously, when the cops get here. I don't really want to just throw it online. You're going to think back on this.
Honestly, her husband, though, does seem like a genuine psycho. Like, she seems like a mentally broken, crazy person. He seems like a psycho dude. I get away from this guy. Amaranth seems like one of those women who will pick a fight with you, and then the minute you push back with like a good point, she'll go, why are you always so mean to me? I don't understand why you're like this all the time. I've met a couple, all right? married one. Who like they'll just like push you around, shit on you, yell at you, everything else. And then if you go, well, have you ever thought that maybe if you did this, it might be the why are you so good, girl? That's how Amaranth is. But the problem is this guy is a fucking Looney Tune. He's one of these guys, and these are the ones you got to look out for. When he's fighting with a hysterical woman, he purposely tries to stay overly calm. And, like, that's a guy who's clearly trying to, like, emotionally manipulate the situation. Here's a couple I can trust. Is she's like, you know, I get so sick of your shit sometimes. And he goes, oh, you don't think I get sick of your shit too? And she's like, fuck you. Fuck you. All right, then you separate for a little bit. But when you got people who are like, why are you doing this to me? And the other one goes, I don't know why you're being so nuts. Like, women do that and men do that. That's some broken shit. Those are some weirdos. It's, and this guy, I mean, you can see it in his eyeballs. He's a fucking game player. I think she's just nuts. Amy with $5 says, should have been now go home. Popular bumper sticker here. Seriously, welcome and have a great time. Oh, thank you, Amy. I look forward to my time. Not at the gay key. Or as the audience says, any key is the gay key if you believe in it.
This is where it all went to shit. I'm not asking for much.
Just all of the money I didn't earn. Just all the money I was there, you know, along for the ride for. I wonder if he thinks if he gets the cops called and they come over and he can pin something on her, he gets more money. This guy seems like the type.
Apology. No video.
Can I tell you this, though? Some of these most toxic relationships with these crazy fucking people, they last forever. Like, shit like this happens, and I'm not saying it excites them, but it, like, ends up bringing them closer together. I think these two might stay together forever. We also still don't know if these two are pulling a fucking work on everybody, like they've been known to do.
Boy, we have the video. Unless she deletes it.
Oh, so he's playing clips and shit. Let's jump around because this is a 15-minute video.
You know, being the dutiful husband, I rushed across the complex again, kind of like the night of the break-in, and I saw her right...
By the way, I do not buy that break-in whatsoever. The break-in where three guys broke in to steal shit. She led them outside across a courtyard. He was waiting with a gun, and he shot at them. But we don't know anything about arrests or charges or anything else. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And they happened to capture these guys on camera.
Right at the gate, and the gate was open. And I was like, oh, no. So I was like, come on, Kate, let's go, let's go. You know, like, if you can imagine, it's like one of those fucking, like, Air Force One things where you get the president and you say, come on, let's go, let's go.
Bro, I totally see why she's in front of the camera all the time doing sexy shit for money, and you're not one of the main focus guys. You're fucking boring.
Right, like let's get into safety. I was like, come on, let's go, let's go. And then she pulls the, no. You don't get to tell me what to do. I was like, we need to get out from in front of the gate and we need to close it. No. No.
I'm on her side just because of how boring he is. I'm going to tell a really dramatic story. Yeah, please don't. It's not your thing.
I'm not going to listen to you. You can't order me around.
You're not the boss of me, Amaranth. I'm a big boy. Can you give me some allowance so I can go shopping? You get Magic the Gathering cards. All right, I'm jumping around. I can't take this guy. Why are we streaming everything?
What's my family going to do to help me with this? You know? Like, I mean, like, all they can do is watch. Just like you guys. The rest of the world, even. All we can do is...
This is none of our business. This is none of our business. This is the most parasocial shit I've ever seen.
Watch. Because she is just not coming down. Honestly, in my opinion, every time she's gone real high up in terms of the medication stuff, right?
Oh, and now throwing the medication shit at... This guy's a piece of shit. I'm no Amaranth simp. She's got her own fucking problems. This guy's a chiz rag.
A little bit of sanity just slips away forever.
Fuck him.
What the hell's going on? Okay, well, this is fucking Twilight Zone.
Oh, is it the Twilight Zone? I hope it's an alien and he eats you.
That's fine.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Are you seeking charges?
I am. Yeah.
So the police are there, and of course he's streaming his conversation with police. What a cunt. Arrest them both. Throw them both in jail for the weekend.
I've never struck her before. She has struck me before.
But I said I was going this way, and then he came towards
You
me.
don't just stick your arms right up.
You were coming towards my employees behind me.
I'm trying to walk around you.
Can we sentence this guy to being bullied? I think it would help immensely. Do you know what a fucking pussy you sound like when you go to the cops? You go, she stuck her arms out and I was walking. Officer, do you have a drop gun? I'm not asking for any particular reason. I think this guy might be a triad.
I didn't hit you.
Yes, you did. Are you serious?
Ha! In the chat, somebody's writing, Nick Lee flops like LeBron.
You're going to keep pretending like you didn't hit me.
I did not hit you. My arm was like this, and you ran into it.
Dude, the heaviest thing on her is her tits. Stop that she hit you. She already makes all the money for you. She already gives you a house to live in, and now you're going to go, she touched me too hard, officer. She got in my no-no space.
That does not look like that.
One more time. I apologize.
Sure. Maybe one more time.
You have to apologize for DA.
Sure. You just sit there and you take
And
all
this
the
is the actual
security
incident.
away.
No, I'm saying
He's streaming her tits. Oh, man, he's staying on brand even when he's mad at her and trying to get her arrested. He's still like, this will pump up the numbers. In fairness, I would rather look at Amaranth's tits than his Asian face.
You need to tell the employees to take 15.
You said, fuck you, ran
No,
towards
I'm
me.
saying that incident is an incident.
Yes, that's the one he's talking about.
It's the one that happened today, yeah, but it's not the only time she struck me in the past.
Oh, God, you
even
fucking...
dislocated my fucking arm, man. Like,
oh, you fucking bitch! Amaranth almost First of all, dislocated arm is not an injury, douchebag. Dislocated shoulder? Ugh.
That's just...
Just the other day, you freaked out.
Yeah, you're right, you're
And
right.
my knee touched your knee.
Okay.
Oh, this is not a good look for this guy. He's a fucking pussy.
She has. I have
yeah,
not.
I have, because he's been...
Nothing?
had very erratic, violent
You can-
behavior.
oh
He's
my
never
God.
hit me. But there is a case on file where the cops had to come to the house. So that shows in the footage where he grabbed the playpen that was surrounding a bunch of my puppies and like shook it dangerously up and
Oh
down
my
in the
God.
playpen, and they had to jump out.
You have no children. Have the worthless guy, have him say a number, write the check, and get away from this fucking guy. Both of you. Just go end it.
Keep in mind, she also once said I threatened her dog's life. No, not threatened. I endangered your dog's life because I made a cigar joke. A cigar
Holy fucking shit, dude. Stop talking. Dude, I mean, unless you want us all to just assume you have a twat.
I didn't even have a cigar.
Things are very, very heated.
Yeah.
Calm down.
I've been hurt myself.
Yeah.
And we've gone through this also. I'm not trying to make light of anybody's situation.
Sure.
Right.
But I won't solve it tonight. I'm just
Can you lock them both up? Can you plant fentanyl on both of these two and arrest them and charge them with felony drug possession? That would be that would be good.
see what's the best solution for everyone. I'm going to make the phone call.
Yeah.
I'll see if they want to take charges. I don't know.
She doesn't have the nicest legs. All right, anyway, back to these two being pussies.
Sure.
If they don't, is someone willing to...
People in the chat are just writing to him, "You're such a pussy, Lamau. She touched him and she should go to jail."
leave for the night.
Both of them are probably junkies.
Say in this case she needs to leave.
No, I have 7 dogs.
I don't
that I have
care.
to
Take them.
I cannot.
That's
take
on
7
you.
Dogs with me.
You shouldn't overcommit then.
Oh God.
My house.
We'll see what the court.
Yeah, let's see what the court has to say. Oh God. Can we I get internment camps were wrong, right? Like during World War II, internment camps weren't cool. Can we open them up though, and we won't put all Asian people in them, just him? Is that something we're allowed to do? Thank you very much to 383 Novocaine. He says, Aaron in the pool. Oh, somebody called him Jimmy Wang Yang in the chat. I like that. Nice little early 2000s WWE reference. This video is on WikiFeet for sure. $60 away from knocking out tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. So nice. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. Etc. All right, someone said this is me when the 383 Novocaine said this is me when I go swimming. Okay.
Boy, I tell you what, this is one... just a second, Duke. Hey, cut it out. What's going on?
There's nothing wrong, but maybe you should get out of the pool immediately.
What do I do?
Have fun! Get the manager out here.
No, I'm not going to get graped by a dolphin. It's not going to happen to me. I can protect myself. All will be all right. Stop. $60 away. Let's hammer it and call it a win for the toe. 45 minutes left to go in tonight's program. I say we go home with a big old W. We head to vacation with a big old W, and let's do it $5-10 at a time, $2-3 at a time, whatever. However you guys feel like doing it. Gift those memberships. If we gift 25 tonight, I'm going to go till 9:30. But right now we are at 2 gifted memberships, so I don't think it's going to work out. All right, let's go and open up the next round of stories that we got a shitload of them tonight. We've got. Oh, yeah, the murder plot story. Oh, we got that lady who claims that she was lost in the wilderness in California for 3 weeks. People are this became a big story this week, and people are starting to press X on it big time. They're starting to say, I don't think this lady was lost. But before we do that, Denzel Washington. Everybody's having run-ins at the film festival. The film festival. This year. Oh my God. We had Shia LaBeouf was having issues and people were being a dick to him. They weren't leaving him alone. Now Denzel Washington went home. He left the Cannes Film Festival because a photographer put hands on him. And Denzel's never been shy when he objects to the way he's being treated. Let's take a look here. So this guy reaches out, tries to touch Denzel. And, in fairness, fucking don't touch people. All right, strangers especially. If you don't know them, let's not go putting hands on people. They don't like that. Oh, shit. He went fucking Alonzo in Training Day on this guy. He really laid into him. Whoa, did he fucking touch him again? Go back. Did he put his hands on him again after that? Look, yeah, he did. You little... Look at the veins in his neck, bro. It took Denzel everything he had not to fucking cold cock that guy. And good. He should have. I'd have been cool with it. Is this, I guess they were fucking with Denzel a couple of times?
Pauletta, I was just about to say, I was like, me and Pauletta are friends.
Yeah, right. Y'all are friends. That's right. See, you see how it goes? This is life. This is how it goes. This is Pedro. He's making time with my wife. If I were in Gladiator,
Oh, he's just having fun on this one. All right. See, Denzel, that's just to show that Denzel was in a good mood. He was having a good time. He was happy. And then this little shitbag had to go and start grabbing on him. Again, look at that. Touches him. Denzel's like, get your fucking hands off me. And he won't stop smiling either. What a little fucking asshole. And then he goes to grab him again. Right here. Fucking stop it. Would anybody have cared if Denzel punched him? I wouldn't have. I hope nobody would have ratted him out. I hope they all would have destroyed their footage afterwards. Turtle Steel Shell with $1. Says it's a warning not to rub their tummy. If it turns red and flustered, you'll sleep jack on their leg. Atomic Ray says, show us the double hand motion, Denzel. Just fucking, it's just 5 across the eyes, as Al Bundy used to say. Yeah, look, Papa Shab, Sam Show, we know. We're aware. We can see the guy. Walks in like he owns the joint. We understand. Let's go to this next story. It's a murder plot that involves $1,000, some pigs, a nun, and whiskey. It's beyond bizarre. New York man Gilles Sutherland couldn't seem to get his girlfriend's baby daddy out of her life. So like any reasonable person, he hatched a plot to have the guy killed. According to the criminal complaint, Sutherland had a guy who worked as an enforcer, a low-level loan shark henchman who specialized in intimidation tactics. So like basically he had, like, you remember the guys at the beginning of The Big Lebowski, who piss on his rug? He got guys like that to kill his girlfriend's baby daddy. Just this story, by the way, has white trash written all over it. The enforcer owed him money, about $7,000. So Sutherland agreed to forgive the $7,000 that the guy owed him if he would just kill the baby daddy. Wholesome enough, right? Well, the enforcer was perfectly willing to play the intimidation game. He was happy to set the ex's mom's car on fire and leave a dead Canada goose on her front porch with an intimidating First of all, that's all really fucked up. Second of all, you're supposed to be murdering the guy, not scaring the shit out of his mom. He didn't want to kill the guy, however. The enforcer became an informant and then ratted to the FBI. Wow. So, you're telling me that a scumbag loan shark enforcer that owed you $7,000 wasn't reliable and snaked you? If you can't trust a lackey of a local loan shark, who the hell can you trust anymore? We used to be a proper country. And through a series of recorded conversations, the whole plot came to light. The enforcer said, so I have a van I can rent for $250 from a nun. So we're going to rent a van from a nun to kill a guy. We take him to a farm and we let the hogs eat him. You can go with me if you want. To which Sutherland says, no, I'll probably be in Myrtle Beach that day. Damn, can't go with you to the hog. I'd love to go to the hog farm with you and feed this guy to pigs, but I'm going to be at the beach. The enforcer said, I get it. So they were going to rent a van from a nun, take a guy to some pigs, and have them clean the bones, so to speak. The undercover hog farmer, that's a sentence, agreed to take care of their little problem for $1,000, but he wanted some reassurance. The men agreed to get 2 burner phones so the enforcer could send Sutherland a confirmation photo, like an Uber driver, and to burn the poor nun's van to get rid of any evidence. So when it came time to find the farmer willing to dispose of the body, a special agent stepped in to play the part because, remember, our enforcer turned on this guy. Now, the undercover officer said, quote, I'm going to need a little something up front, but I've got the space, man. Sutherland offered him booze, and the officer asked for a really good bourbon. On the night of the arrest, the enforcer met Sutherland at a bowling alley, because of course they did, and followed him to a dress in Schenectady, New York. While there, Sutherland provided the enforcer with an Easy Pass transponder, a bottle of Wild Turkey bourbon for the farmer, and $1,450 cash. Immediately after, Sutherland was promptly arrested, and he pled guilty to the murder for hire plot. He's facing 10 years in prison with a fine of up to $250,000. And you know what the best part is? In his head, this sounded fucking perfect. Like, in his head, he's like, I'm gonna be done. I'm not gonna have any more baby daddy troubles in my life. We're gonna be able to live happily ever after. There's no way this could go wrong. How was I supposed to know that the hog farmer was an FBI agent? I can't believe I couldn't trust the guy who owed me $7,000. Balls Deep with $2 says HH karaoke remix. Gilbert Gottfried would be proud. Helgi with $5 says Wednesday Night Rumble? ? I don't know. We got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. We're $55 away. If you guys knock that out, I'll spend whatever time we got left for the show on a Rumble Friday. Turtle gifting a membership. Thank you very much, Turtle. That's 3 of them, 22 more. And I'll go till 9:30 tonight. That's going to put us $50 away from banging out tonight's goal. Hey, only $50 away and over a half hour left. I tell you what, why don't you guys just all chip in the rest of that and we'll call it a perfect week and you guys can sit back and enjoy Gino and Keanu tomorrow and Friday as they'll be hosting Steel Toe while I'm out. Okay, let's see what Helgi sent us.
The FBI.
George Cascone, target of alleged murder for hire plot, talks about ex-wife. Okay, let's take a look.
Come knocking on my door at midnight, night before last, asked me if I made anybody mad recently, and I said, well, I'm in the used car business. I can make a lot of people mad recently. And then
all right, so this guy's the target. They wanted to kill this used car salesman. Okay.
FBI person said, well, what about in the past? And as soon as they said the past, I said, ex-wife. And they go, you got it right. You got it right. It was your ex-wife.
Wait, so they were just making the guy guess? They weren't like, hey, man, your ex-wife wants to kill you. You might want to, take precautions. They were like, all right, let's play 20 questions. Somebody wants to kill you. Do you know who it is? Try again, motherfucker.
Then they told me that my ex-wife was in custody for a murder for hire plot to get me whacked.
When they told you all the details of this plot, tell me what's going through your head.
Well, I'm thinking, she was thinking if I can't have him, can't nobody have him because he's a real dish,
That insulted me the most is the fact she was going to pay the hitman so little money, and she wouldn't.
I don't mind getting shot at and shit, but, for such a low figure, my life's worth way more than that. Shit.
Outsource it. She did work with somebody here in Kansas City. Evidently, they liked me more than they did her, so they flipped on her. And she should have took somebody from out of town, Chicago or New York, and she should have paid them at least $10,000. $2,000 is not enough to get that kind of work done right. So you
I love this guy. He's not mad that his ex-wife wanted him killed. He can fathom that. He can understand that. What he's upset about is that she paid so little money and didn't get a professional. This guy sounds like he's insulted.
Said she get what you pay for.
So most people, would say, I can't believe so-and-so is hiring people to kill me. Your reaction is she's not paying people enough money.
Right, because she's done terrible things to me already. She stole everything my mother ever owned before my mother was dead. She stole everything my family had. She stole 7 rental houses from me, commercial properties, and my antique cars, maybe buy my antique cars back from her.
What do you mean stole them? Like, dude, how does someone just steal properties from you from under your nose? And if you got all this shit off the guy, why are you trying to kill him too?
Was that part of the divorce settlement?
No, before the divorce, she took my cars and hid them in another location, made me buy them back.
You guys got divorced more than a decade ago.
In 99, yeah.
And how often have you communicated since then?
Oh, I communicate with her quite regularly. Till the other night, she called me about 2 weeks ago crying about water in her basement. Then she accused me of burning down one of the rental dumps that she burnt down. And then she accused me of stealing, and I never stole anything from her. So I just quit. She made me mad. I quit talking to her.
And then she wanted that dick so bad, she's like, if I can't have it, I'll cut it off and feed him to him. But she could only, swing $2,000 for the hitman, and that really pissed this guy off something fierce. He feels he's worth at least $10K. Little troubling that this guy knows exactly how much money you need to get the job done, right? That's That's something that's a little disconcerting, but I guess we can handle that at a different date. Jesus. Thank you very much to Eric. Eric with a couple of bucks over on PayPal. Thank you. He says, Colts owner Jim Irsay, dead at 65. Friends don't let friends coach in the AFC South. It kills. Real Jim Irsay. I didn't realize Jim Irsay was that young. I thought Jim Irsay was older than that. He's dead. I'm going to fact check that one. Colts announced the death of their legendary owner, Jim Irsay. Wow. Yep. Was about to turn 66 on June 13th. Died at 65. Won him a Super Bowl. Well, damn. My Lost Interest says Aaron got out easy in his divorce compared to this guy. Makes the missing $5K seem like a blessing. You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying. I mean, I didn't, this guy was about to get killed. He was about to get whacked, so I guess I made out better than he did. You got to look on the bright side. You got to count your blessings, as they say. $50 away from a win tonight, guys. Send me on my way. Say bon voyage with another win for the toe. Let's get that $50 KO'd and call it a W. Thank you, kids. People are starting to call bullshit. Oh, shit. People are starting to call bullshit on this Georgia woman who was missing for 3 weeks in the California mountains. They're starting to find some inconsistencies in her story. Let's get the basics first, and then we'll dig into why people think that this lady might be full of shit.
Now a woman is speaking out after going missing in the California wilderness for nearly 3 weeks. Tiffany Slayton, a solo hiker who was lost in a blizzard last month, was found sheltering inside a cabin near Lake Edison. That's about 3 hours outside of Fresno now.
I mean, if I got to be stranded for 3 weeks, that ain't a bad place to be stranded. Nobody wanted to come up. It was nobody's cabin. It was just kind of sitting there, just squatted.
Slayton says if the cabin hadn't been unlocked, she probably would have died.
Fuck that. I don't care if you arrest me. If I'm stranded in the woods and I don't know where I am, I'll break into your fucking cabin. I don't care. If it's the difference between my, being exposed to the elements or getting into your house, I'll break a window. Thanks. I'll pay you back.
I honestly do not think that without Vermilion Resort, I would not be here at that moment. Because that was the 13th heavy snowstorm I had been in, and it was going to be the last one. If he hadn't have come that day, they would have found my body there.
I don't believe this. You know what? I instantly, just hearing from her after being out in the elements for 3 weeks, I already am pressing X on this story. I was in 13 snow. You can't overlie your dramatic situation because then you make people feel uncomfortable because they're like, I don't believe her, but it's also really uncomfortable to call bullshit on someone for something like this. So what do I do?
I talk about a miracle. Glad she's okay. The resort owner says Tiffany gave him a hug the moment that he found her alive, and I can understand why.
Okay, well, all right. Why are they saying that? Why are they saying that she's a liar, pants on fire? Let's see. Tiffany Slayton found alive after surviving 3 weeks of being lost in the California mountains. At the start of her camping trip, she recounted to reporters how she had fallen off a cliff, and become unconscious for 2 hours, injuring both of her legs in the process. All right, so at the very beginning of this, she fell off a cliff. She hurt both her legs. She's a trained horticulturist and pre-Olympian in archery, then proceeded to splint one of her legs and pop the other knee back into place. So already this lady's John J. Rambo. Due to a recent avalanche, she was unable to get back onto the main road and was unsuccessful in reaching 911 due to a lack of cell service. Well, god damn. Thus, she began her long, arduous journey of attempting to get back to civilization, which included fighting off animals, surviving on leaks and boiled snow, hiking peaks up to 11,000 feet high, and suffering through 13 heavy snowstorms. Right. 13 heavy snowstorms. Let me guess, 15 miles uphill both ways as well. Slayton eventually found that empty wilderness resort and shacked up in one of the cabins where they found her. This is the owner of the cabin.
We're making our loop around the resort. We see the door open. I see some shoes down there. I'm like, okay, well, it's just a hiker who decided to, hold up in the blizzard that we had that previous night. Tiffany pops out.
She doesn't look like someone who's been climbing 11,000-foot rock faces and facing 13 blizzards and, putting splints on her leg and
say a word, just ran up, and all she wanted was a hug. It was a pretty surreal moment, and that's when I realized who this was. From what she told us, it was a blizzard. She pushed through that blizzard, and the first thing she saw was a cabin, and she held up in the cabin through the night.
Okay.
This girl was saved for a reason.
Yeah. She's saved for a reason because I don't think she was really out there for 3 weeks. Well, she was at a press conference with her parents explaining how she survived.
Slayton telling the world how she did it.
How did I avoid death? I'm pretty good at foraging.
Slayton, who
climbing 11,000-foot things, 13 snowstorms. I know how to pick berries, motherfucker.
is from Georgia, had planned to spend 3 days in California's Sierra Mountains. But an accident sent her dangerously off course.
When I fell off of this cliff, I was unconscious for about 2 hours and did indeed have to splint one of my legs and pop the other knee back into place.
Relentless exposure to bright light from the harsh snowy terrain, damaging her eyes, forcing her to wear sunglasses even 2 days after her rescue.
Based on what the doctors have told me, it may be repairable.
Initially, she had supplies and some food. When that ran out, she relied on her skills to find more, eating mostly leeks and drinking snowmelt.
I'm a trained permaculturalist. That means I'm very good at foraging. But at the end, after fighting nature for such a long time, I lost my tent, and I did eventually lose both sleeping bags, so I was outside.
Oh, you forgetful. You'd lose your head if it wasn't attached. All right, let's find out how people started to think this was bullshit. This is from ABC 30 in Fresno, California.
Tiffany Slayton's survival in the Sierra has been hailed a miracle, but it's also sparked suspicion.
When I saw her story, that's when I first went, something's not adding up right here.
Okay.
Seasoned outdoorsman Jeff Aiello skeptical from the start.
Dude, it does take balls to call someone like this out. This is like calling someone out for faking cancer, you know? Because you're like, yeah, no, I think this lady's completely full of shit. I don't think she really went through this. And be like, oh, how could you say such a thing? She's a brave, brave girl.
When Slayton took to the cameras last week to describe her ordeal.
Hello. I didn't really come up with anything that's super planned for this. It's literally only been 2 days.
You don't need a blanket on you in a press conference like that. That was a warning flag for me.
Aiello probes Slayton's story, starting with the avalanche she says blocked her path and turned a vacation into a nightmare.
There's no avalanche in the Sierra this time of the year or in late April. The conditions don't exist for it.
And I'm sure there's other people who are like, I'm not going to question the fucking black lady's story. Are you kidding? And this guy's like, listen, bunch of horse shit. Can't live with myself if I don't point this out. There's no Sierra Nevada avalanches in May.
According to the National Weather Service, there was little to no snowpack at the time, but there were at least 2 systems that brought snowfall. Slayton's entire journey lasted nearly a month, and for 15 days, she was officially lost. Her parents in Georgia hadn't heard from her, and Slayton said repeated calls to 911 failed.
There was no service. She couldn't get a call to 911, but then right after that, asked Siri where the closest Starbucks was.
I like this guy. He's not taking any bullshit. He's totally willing to be the bad guy if he has to.
Actually got mad at my GPS and decided to ask, well, where's the nearest Starbucks?
Oh, wait a minute. But if you have enough signal to get GPS, don't you have enough to call 911? Yeah, she's fucking lying, dude.
He was like, oh, well, we can answer that question. It's 18 miles from here.
Siri doesn't work unless you have connectivity.
Slayton eventually discovered a cabin near Lake Edison, and reports of her rescue made national headlines. We asked Slayton's father about his daughter's story over the phone Monday.
You don't think that the cabins at some resort place, you don't think they've built it in a place that has cell phone reception?
Does he believe it? My daughter doesn't give false statements to us or to anybody, he said.
Oh, yeah? In high school, you think she didn't drink? She told us the truth.
We're 100% behind her. We also asked about the naysayers. The fact of the matter is they weren't there, he said. They weren't in the situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're alone in the woods, of course, there's not going to be anyone else there.
Tiffany Slayton's parents have since closed a GoFundMe established for their daughter. We've also learned that the Fresno County Sheriff's Office has retraced some of Slayton's path and found evidence to validate her story. The family is now actively talking with investigators.
Why did they close down the GoFundMe, though? That's a little iffy. I don't know. Do we have anything else? To be sure, the extra theatrics and claims of fighting off animals and avalanches after falling off a cliff and hurting both legs do seem embellished. Additional details like being able to access Siri but not GPS are also troubling. Oh, I guess they screenshotted one of the officers' faces while she was telling the story, and he looks a little incredulous. He looks like he might not be buying what she's selling. It doesn't sound. Slayton was seen on April 8th with her electric bike and camping gear. Here she is. All right, that's her. So was this while she was supposed to be lost and like having all kinds of problems? By the way, it's muted. There's no sound on this one. Video has been released showing Tiffany Slayton on April 20th, the last day she had contact with her family and entered Fresno County, as an extensive 5-day search spanning 600 square miles had been scaled back. So they saw her again. Okay, there she is. Seems fine. Doesn't seem like there's any avalanches. Doesn't seem like there's any snowstorms or anything like that. She's doing okay. I'm really starting to think she's full of shit. Using that video, critics note that she was found 25 miles down the road from that location and surmise she ran out of battery before deciding to camp out in an empty resort cabin. Other critics have noted that the claim of surviving off leaks is a bit far-fetched, given that leaks don't grow anywhere within 1,000 miles of the Sierra Nevadas. Huh. Other people are calling foul based off their built-in bullshit radar. Okay, well, that too. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm buying it. $5 from Turtle Steel Shell says, this cunt knows nothing of the Sierra Mountains. This woman is describing how to die up here. Oh, Turtle Steel Shell is in the Sierra Mountains, and he's calling bullshit. If they took down the GoFundMe, I think that they might think that people are on to them. By the way, $45 away from today. 20 minutes left in the show. Let's hammer out that last $45. Send us away perfect, guys. Send us away with a perfect week. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. $45 away. And remember, tomorrow we have Gino and Keanu hosting the morning show on both Thursday and Friday. You guys finish up that last 45. Let's call it a win for the toe. My Lost Interest said she sold the rights to a movie production company, but was disappointed to learn it was going to be a comedy. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, she's going to be talking to animals. They're going to make it partially animated. It's going to be kind of fun. Miss Tay says, book deal, Netflix special. I mean, Netflix does love shit like that. You know, recently, I don't know if any of you have watched it, but I watched the Liver King documentary. I was never a Liver King guy because he's just a fucking tool. If you were a Liver King guy, will you at least admit it and say that you're embarrassed now? Because, first of all, to not think that that guy was on gear He was on 10 grand a month worth of steroids. And people were like, no, he just eats liver and he lifts a lot and he eats cow balls. Okay. And then there were people who were legit surprised when they found out that that guy was on steroids. Netflix did a really good job with that documentary because instead, he cooperated with the whole thing. And usually when you cooperate with those documentaries, it's because you want them to treat you nice. But towards the end of the documentary, they were like, hey, do you kind of feel like a stupid, retarded, shit-talking asshole for all this? He's like, yeah. Feel like a stupid, shit-talking, cunt-face asshole. Yeah, kind of a little. The only avalanche, says MSO, was the bag of white powder when it fell out of her pocket. So if she is lying about this, if she is making this story up, that's probably a better way to get a Netflix deal. Netflix loves those liar stories. You know, what's her name? The chick who pretended to be an heiress. What was her name? Delvey. Anna Delvey. Oh, yeah, they love that shit. If you're lying about something, Netflix wants to have a talk with you. For sure. Dysrhythmia says, Kiki can barely get double-figure views on her own streams. Why would you put her in charge of your show? Well, originally, Johnny was supposed to host the show. And then Johnny got the infection in his leg, and he went to the hospital. So I talked to the Biscontis, and they said they could do it. So that's why we're doing it. Von Kaiser with $5 says, $5, you dirty dog. All right, go ahead. If you do 5 or 10 from here to the end of the show, we'll do it Rumble Friday style. You can throw a link in there if you want, because we want to knock out that last $40. We've only got a little bit more time to hang out with each other, and hell, I'd like to see us do it in perfection and call it the final win for the toe this week. Thank you guys so much. I just have this weird feeling that I'm going to miss some huge drama news. I have a huge feeling that we're going to get, I really hope that body cam footage does not get released while I'm on vacation and I miss it. Like I said, Josh, if you get the body cam footage, hold off. There's no rush. Don't give it to anyone. Stall it for a week. It'll be fine. Miss Tay with $10 says, I'm going to be on my best behavior for Kiki and Gino. Well, shit, guys, if you got some questions for Keanu and Gino, you got some things you want to ask them, you want some gossip, some rumors, some dish. I mean, obviously, there's going to be, some stuff that happened over the last year that was really controversial. I mean, aren't you guys the ones who are like, you can't trust them, they're fucking shit, they're this, they're that? Well, I mean, if that's the case, throw them a fucking super chat tomorrow, throw them a super chat on Friday, ask them some questions. I'll tell them they got to answer them. They'll be glad to do it for you. I mean, don't just get angry. Don't just get mad. It's an interactive show. That's the whole point. What do you think? Actual Steel Toe fan, when that body cam footage comes out and you realize, oh shit, I just hate Aaron. He told the truth about everything. He's been right about everything. I can't wait to see what your cope is. I mean, you're coping and it's not even out yet, buddy. So, I mean, good luck to you. Good luck. I got bad news, actual Steel Toe wearer. You are what we call not only parasocial, but also someone who searches for their confirmation bias. I mean, Aaron's behavior over the last year and a half clearly dictates that all that other stuff is null and void because he's where he is now. I need to hang on to an out-of-context 15-month-old text message being released by a known liar so that I can hate Aaron. I think I might own you, bitch. All right, let's go to Von Kaiser's link. Just $30 away from calling it a win for the toe. Jump in, throw in a few bucks. Let's notch a win.
We talked to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go now to that interview. Folks, there's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Jeff,
my favorite wrestling
match you had with Motley.
Yep. Probably the hardest match I ever had in my life.
I don't like it.
But I don't like it
going my way.
When things aren't going my way. Motley Cruz, you turn the tables on me. You turn the tables in a wrong way. You got me mad.
Which, by the way, is counterclockwise.
Hey, you got me mad now.
Mad now.
I've stood around. I've listened to everything you had to say.
Done everything necessary.
I did everything necessary. But when you turn around and you backstab me one way or another, and you cheat me out of what's rightfully mine, that's when I get angry.
And he's mad.
Now I'm the one doing the challenging. I'm issuing a challenge to you, Motley Crue. Get in the ring with me.
Tell him, Jeff.
This time I'm going full force.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. All right, on to somebody you give a shit about. By the way, Jumpin' Jeff Farmer did end up to, he had a decent career. He went on to work for WCW. He was the fake Sting, the NWO Sting. That was Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. That was his great legacy in professional wrestling. Bapa Shab says, I want to see the full thing front to back so I can finally get Nick to go insane with the irrefutable evidence that he is indeed a scumbag. Dude, and he's only going to have like the 200 people who are Onion fans like getting his back, like actual steel toe wearer. And it's going to be so fun to watch him they all huddle because every time they come out of their bubble, people go, you understand every one of us here is on Aaron's side and we think you're gay. I mean, we think Aaron's gay too, but he's way more honest than that piece of shit. That's psycho. And all the Onion people go, no, Aaron's bad. You guys have to hate him. They're like, he's boring. He's nothing. You guys are psychotic. Well, I'm going back into the Discord where people are nice to me and we say mean things about Aaron. It's the copium that they OD on. But as I say, I'm happy to be able to be the one who does it to them. And I'm sorry if it upsets you, as it clearly does. $30 away. Let's hammer it out. We've got 10 minutes left. Or let's talk about George Floyd. Oh, yeah, that's right. Here in Minnesota, it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm so happy I'm going to be gone because they're planning 5-year anniversary parties for the 5th year since George Floyd's death. And I bet you they don't burn down anything. All right, let me rephrase. I bet they don't burn down anything important. Let's go ahead and see how they're planning to celebrate. When the sun goes down, we'll be looting. When the sun goes down, we'll be tilting sideways. Oh, when the sun goes down, we'll be shooting. Street takeover racing when the sun goes down.
5 years ago, after the murder of George Floyd, an artist created a mural he'd never forget. And it's a mural people around the world have not forgotten either.
That mural was created during a very, very tough time and expresses feelings that extend far beyond Minneapolis. Fox 9's...
You think you'd be able to get out of that neighborhood alive if you tagged it with Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong?
Simone Woolridge shares the story.
Free DC.
Story behind the art.
Hello, how you doing? Nice to see you.
I think what you should probably do is get stickers because if you try to tag it, it's going to take way too much time and you'll catch a fucking shovel to the back of your head. Maybe slap a sticker on there and then, already have the car running.
For Cadex Herrera.
All right, this is really nice. Are you trying to do the gray tones like you did here?
Teaching art wasn't always the plan he drew for himself.
I made the duck blue because I've never seen a blue duck. And since I've never seen a blue duck before, I really wanted to see a blue duck. So I think it's a wonderful blue duck. And that's how you get to graduate high school in Minneapolis.
What do you call that?
It's my character, Hound.
Hound. Very nice.
But it is a big part of his story that was painted with purpose.
I grew up in Belize, Central America, and life was really tough and difficult.
Fuck does this have to do with George Floyd?
It was a way for me to sort of escape. It wasn't until later in life where I started learning about what.
And then Derek Chauvin put a knee on my neck. It hurts a lot. He has a bionic knee.
Art can do, right, to the body and to the brain, that I started realizing that it was a form for me to self-heal.
Cadex Herrera, his friends call him Juju the Cow.
While surrounded by students, Cadex has learned.
Very good. It's looking great. Awesome. Keep it up.
There's no time limit on healing. In fact, part of his healing journey started 5 years ago.
I love my brother, man.
We were watching
Brother man.
the funeral services.
Got a schnoz on that boy. Anyway. Can you believe that couldn't breathe? That's a shame.
There was
it's like a dolphin who can't swim.
In the background of the mural. And that's when I just lost, like everything, all my defenses broke down.
It's time for us to stand up in George's name and say, get your knee off our necks.
Yeah, Al Sharpton's really got a lot of knees on his neck. Yeah, Al Sharpton's he's been a victim for so long. Poor Al. I hear that his maid hasn't washed his silk sheets this week. Isn't that terrible? It's an awful thing. How are you guys going to celebrate, or not celebrate, mourn the 5-year anniversary of George Floyd? I'd like to know. I want you to share in our chat. This is, God damn it, this is a safe place. We got a couple more stories I want to get through before we get to the end of tonight's program. What I'd really like to do is bang out that last $30. Throw it on the table, couple of dollars here, couple of dollars there. Let's leave this week perfect. Let's leave it absolutely perfect. If it's 5, if it's 10, if it's 20, if it's 30, let's knock out the rest of that $30. Perfect little short week for the toe. We got about 7 minutes left. Thank you, guys. If you want to do it Rumble Friday style with a link every $5 or a gifted membership, I'm happy with that too. Let's rally up and call it a win. There was another. This guy wasn't. He was a witness. Okay, this Sheree Hayes was called as a witness in the Diddy trial, but you might know him better by his Islamic name, The Punisher. The Punisher is an exotic male dancer who was at some of the Diddy parties. And this guy says, I'm guessing the check from Diddy must have cashed because he said he didn't see anything sexually untoward at any of the Diddy parties. This guy's saying that the Astroglide stayed in the closet while he was there.
I listened to your testimony, and I'm trying to figure out where is the crime that they're prosecuting Diddy for. And I'm wondering, when you had your discussions with prosecutors before they called you, did they explain where they were going? Because I was confused about that when you walked off the stand.
Honestly, that was my personal experience too, being confused. I remember when investigators first approached me in March of 2024. This was before any charges, allegations.
It's like Deion Sanders mixed with Charles Barkley mixed with AIDS.
I told them, "Hey guys, I have nothing for you. I didn't see any violence. I didn't get any cues to her being in distress, and any cues or anything that I mentioned, which I did say there was some wincing and some sighing and stuff. That was in hindsight. If there was never any."
So this guy, they called this guy as a witness, and he's like, I didn't really see shit. And that's the weird part. Like, before they bring you on the stand, they brief you, they talk to you. And this guy's like, I didn't see shit. I don't know anything. And the prosecution's like, perfect. You're on. He's like, what? No, but I didn't see anything. This is like being a juror. And you go for jury duty and they interview you and they go, what do you think of black people? And he goes, hate them. You're like, all right, you're in. Wait, what? That never, shit. So this guy says he didn't see anything at the freak-offs, but they still called him up. No, by the way, again, knowing that he didn't see anything, they still called him up there and said, maybe he'll remember by the time he gets up. I just don't fucking know. I don't know what the strategy is behind calling up a guy who's literally going to tell you that he didn't see anything. Renegger with $5. Thank you very much. Hey guys, we're only $25 away. Renegger has a link. I can't leave until these links are done. So let's get that $25 hammered out. Everybody jump in. I want to be perfect before I leave. So let's do it. Here's a tribute to George Floyd, says Renegger. Well, that's really nice. You got to love George Floyd tributes. All right, guys, get them in. Jesus, Dude, I don't think I can show this on YouTube. It's a picture of George Floyd on the stretcher. Can we? I mean, there. That's it. That's all I can. I played your link. Jesus, man. You know what I don't get about rubbing in the like George Floyd death thing though? Is that like he's gone. Like it's not like you're like owning George Floyd doesn't really seem like something that needs to be done, if that makes sense. But thank you, Renegger, because for shock value, it certainly worked. $25 away. I've got a couple minutes left. I'm going to do another story. I'm going to keep dancing for you. I really hope you guys all at the same time decide to throw in a couple of bucks and send us home perfect tonight. It would be a shame because I ain't coming back tomorrow or Friday, so I don't have a chance to make up for that 25. I'd really appreciate it. You know that John Madden film that we talked about last week where Nicolas Cage is going to play Madden and Christian Bale is going to play Al Davis? Kind of a cool movie that they're making. Well, one of the actors has already quit. And he's quitting just 2 weeks into production because of the use of the N-word and cock. Not the word cock. There's full frontal nudity in the movie. Sources close to Amazon Studios say that the allegations are being twisted. Now, first of all, it's a movie about a millionaire who owns a team in the 1970s. The N-word's probably coming out. Just letting you know. TMZ spoke with 5 members of the cast and crew for the upcoming film starring Nicolas Cage as Madden, Christian Bale as Al Davis, and they independently leveled some serious claims about the film's director, David O. Russell. Crew and cast members said Friday that Russell was working with the unnamed actor on an impromptu monologue when the director allegedly said the N-word, and that upset the actor, along with others, who allegedly walked off set before they broke for lunch. Studio sources tell TMZ it was actually the actor's idea to include the N-word in the scene after a private conversation with the director, but ultimately the word was not used when they shot the scene. David did not say the word while shooting the scene, but declined to speculate what upset the actor. And you know what it is. Actors are fucking psychos. They're a little mentally ill. And I don't know, something pissed this guy off, and he got all shitty about it. Sean Lenane with $1 says, can we play George Floyd on Pornhub? No, you can't play George Floyd on Pornhub. Well, we missed by $25. And like, we were so close. Like you guys just kept knocking it down the whole show. Like it wasn't even a problem. It wasn't even like, oh no, we're not going to hit. I'm honestly, I'm a little blindsided tonight. I really thought that I really even didn't harp on it that much because I thought it was just fait accompli for the win. But it's a $25 miss. You know what? I really don't want to go. I don't know. I want to make that $25. I know it's not going to make a difference. I know that $25 is not make or break for Steel Toe, but like, I kind of want to keep going. And I want to get more donos. I want to get more contributions in. I just feel like it's bad juju for my trip if I leave now and go, oh, well, we missed by 25. I got nothing to do. I got nowhere to go. I'm going to stick around. We're going to hang out. And we're going to see if we can't get a few more, because it's bad luck to miss by 25 before you leave, in my opinion. So let's get in there. Let's throw in a couple of bucks and we'll keep going. Oh, look at that. Oh, now I have to keep going because I said I'd keep going. Now the 30 comes in. I at least got to do. Alra Ricks with $30 says, quit your bitching. All right, we got the W, but now I got to keep going.
All
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 1 Loaded Wrench with $1. Fire up the drop. Where is it? Where is it?
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
All right, we got time for one more. Let's do it. We got the Jeremy Renner audio. Renegger says, "Play my dono, faggot. I gave you $5." Dude, it's the N-word is all over it. I'm gonna get kicked off of YouTube. It's fucking George Floyd's dead body with the N-word all over it. I'll play the fucking thing, but I ain't putting it on the screen. I'm sorry. You can ask for your money back if you want to.
When everything...
Yeah, it's chest compressions on George Floyd's body, and you've got the N-word written all over it. It's not exactly subtle, Renegger.
Been dragging you down, grabbed you by the hair, I pulled you to the ground. If you want to get up, you need a little revive.
It's a machine that's doing chest compressions on him.
If you want to get up, you need a little revive.
Yeah. There you go, Renegger. I played your, it takes a lot to offend me. That's fucking morbid, dude. Really fucking morbid. Jesus Christ. Miss Tay with $5 says fake dono. All right, let's Root says totally wholesome content, Renegger. Yeah, YouTube's not real big on A, showing dead bodies, and B, having the N-word plastered all over the screen. You know what? Great for a Rumble Friday. Not good for right now. This is from Miss Tay. By the way, that's her weave fell off on the. Why do black people pass out on the slingshot so much? I never understood the passing out on rides, but black people pass out on rides a lot. Oh, we're out again. And then here goes the hair. Whoop, there we go. I never understood the passing out on the ride. All right, let's do the Jeremy Renner thing, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you guys so much for knocking it out this week. You're the absolute best. Sending me out on a high note like that. Jeremy Renner is, when he first woke up, remember when he got run over by that snowplow? And it fucked up like his whole body. Like he was in really bad shape. Broke everything. All his ribs, arms, eyes popped out of socket. Gruesome shit. Apparently, when he was revived, he was pissed. He was upset that the paramedics brought him back. That's a fucked up place to be.
It's a great relief, is all I can say. It's a wonderful relief to be removed from your body.
You felt peace, right? You felt happiness.
Oh yeah, it is the most exhilarating peace you could ever feel. You don't see anything but what's in your mind's eye, like you're the atoms of who you are, the DNA, like your spirit is. It's like the highest adrenaline rush, but the peace that comes with it. It's.
I've thought about that. Like, there's so many people that they die and come back, right? And they're like, I was having all these like hallucinations, and I was at peace, and I didn't feel any pain and all this. And I'm like, fucking, I really hope dying rules. Like, I don't want it to come any earlier than it has to, but like, I really hope dying rules. And like, what if time slows down? What if you like experience this feeling for what feels like hours or days or months or years? Like, what if this experience right now is you're actually dying somewhere else? And it's taking, like, let's say you're 35 years old. Let's say you're living 35 years of a life, but really what this is somewhere else you're dying. I know that makes zero fucking sense, but it would be really cool if that was the case. And when I hear shit like this, I'm like, dying doesn't seem so bad. Maybe it's great. Dying seems like it's harder for everyone around you than it is for you.
Magnificent, so magical. And I didn't want to come back. I remember. And I was brought back and I was so pissed off. I came back. I'm like, oh.
They pulled
and
you
I'm only
back.
gone, I think probably it doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 10. But I come back and I saw the eyeball again. I'm like, oh.
Not the eyeball. It's still here.
That's the thing. He said he could see his eyeball that had popped out of the socket. He could see it with the other eye. Ugh.
That's still here. I'm like, oh, I'm back. Saw my leg.
Right, like if your whole body's been crushed by a snowplow, and when you lose consciousness and everything starts to shut down, you start experiencing euphoria and these visions and all this, and then they bring you back and you see your eyeball laying there, you're like, oh fuck, this is not better than where I just was. This is fucking bad news, dude. Renegger with $1 says you have to show it on the next Rumble Friday or I'll never donate it again. You've got it, buddy. You've got it. I promise. Bapa Shab says you're already dead. This has all happened before. That would be fucking awesome, right? That would be really great. My Lost Interest says Einstein proved that time is a human constraint. Good. Then I hope I'm dead somewhere and that this is all just a thing. And then when I die in this, it's like a Russian doll thing. I'll have another experience. That'd be cool. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thank you for knocking it out. Thank you for giving us a perfect week. Thank you for sending me on my way in a great state, in great charity. Thank you so much for being an awesome audience. You've supported this show so much that I can take some time off. I can go be with my lady, spend the rest of the weekend with the kids, and come back on Tuesday. Support Gino, support Keanu. They're great. They're awesome. They're going to do a fun show for you. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, all of that stuff. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad says McCarthy and his fiancée Katya Karopis announced they are expecting a baby boy in September. There goes the Viking season. No, they're going to be fine. That's going to be great for the team. It's going to be awesome inspiration. Don't you remember Rocky did really well after his kid was born? Take it easy, guys. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Tuesday.